Ready, set. Ready, set. Ready, set, go. Ready, set. Ready, set. Ready, set. Ready, set. Ready, set, go.
Stranger to the fallout, it's what got us here. Ever changing, some chameleon, blood, sweat, and tears. We'll never make it if we fall to everything that brings us down. With a comeback is now. Blood, sweat, and tears. Fight for what we want. Doesn't matter the cost. Every day, put in work. Blood, sweat, and tears. Nothing comes overnight. Strength in numbers, start to line. We don't bow to fear. Blood, sweat, and tears. Blood, sweat, and tears. Fight for what we want. Doesn't matter the cost. Every day, put worth compromising with what hurts inside. When you let fear decide your fate, you don't choose which path to take in life. In life, I'm finally letting go of everything that still holds me. I'm against the odds, but I won't give up, 'cause it's my time to shine. Standing in the spotlight, and no one let me down. Destiny is calling high. I'm not afraid to fight for everything I love. Victory is on my side. The more we lose, the more we gain. The more that nothing stays the same in time. In time. Can't love ever, can't forget. What you see is what you get sometimes. Sometimes. Gonna show the world tonight the light that shines inside us. We're against the odds, but we won't give up, 'cause it's our time to shine. Standing in the spotlight.
Your perfect glow in darkness shines. Don't get lost in the madness of the night. Ready, set, ready, set, ready, set, go. Ready, set, ready, set, ready, set. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, ready, set, ready, set, go. Ready, set, ready, set, ready, set, ready, set. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go.
We're no strangers to the fallout. It's what got us here. Ever changing, some chameleon. Blood, sweat, and tears. We'll never make it if we fall to everything that brings us down. With a comeback is now. Blood, sweat, and tears. Fight for what we want. Doesn't matter the cost. Every day, put in work. Blood, sweat, and tears. Nothing comes overnight. Strength in numbers start to line. We don't bow to fear. Blood, sweat, and tears. Blood, sweat, and tears. Fight for what we want. Doesn't matter the cost. Every day, put in work. Blood, sweat, and tears. Nothing comes overnight. Strength in numbers start to line. We don't bow to fear. Blood, sweat, and tears. Fight for what rehearse inside. When you let fear decide your fate, you don't choose which path to take alive. In life, I'm finally letting go of everything that still holds me. I'm against all odds, but I won't give up, 'cause it's my time to shine. Standing in the spotlight, can no one let me down. Destiny is calling high. I'm not afraid to fight for everything I love. Victory is on my side. The more we lose, the more we gain. The more that nothing stays the same. In time, can love ever, can forget. What you see is what you get. Sometimes, gonna show the world tonight. The light that shines inside us. We're against the odds, but we won't give up, 'cause it's our time to shine. Ready, set. Ready, set. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, ready, set, go. Ready, set, ready, set, ready, set. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go.
We're no strangers to the fallout. It's what got us here. Ever changing, some chameleon. Blood, sweat, and tears. We'll never make it if we fall to everything that brings us down. With a comeback is now. Blood, sweat, and tears. Fight for what we want. Doesn't matter the cost. Every day, put in work. Blood, sweat, and tears. Nothing comes overnight. Strength in numbers, start to line. We don't bow to fear. Blood, sweat, and tears. Blood, sweat, and tears. Fight for what we want. Doesn't matter the cost. Every day, put in work. Blood, sweat, and tears. Nothing comes overnight. Strength in numbers, start to line. We don't bow to fear. Blood, sweat, and tears.
inside. When you let fear decide your fate, you don't choose which path to take alive. In life, I'm finally letting go of everything that still holds me. I'm against all odds, but I won't give up, 'cause it's my time to shine. Standing in the spotlight, can no one back me down. Destiny is calling high. I'm not afraid to set, go. Ready, set. Ready, set. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, ready, set, go. Ready, set, ready, set, ready, set. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go.
We're no strangers to the fallout. It's what got us here. Ever changing, some chameleon. Blood, sweat, and tears. We'll never make it if we fall to everything that brings us down. With a comeback is now. Blood, sweat, and tears. Fight for what we want. Doesn't matter the cost. Every day, put in work. Blood, sweat, and tears. Nothing comes overnight.
decide your fate. You don't choose which path to take. Alive in life, I'm finally letting go of everything that still holds me. I'm against all odds, but I won't give up, 'cause it's my time to shine. Standing in the spotlight, and no one back me down. Destiny is calling high. I'm not afraid to fight for everything I love. Victory's on my side. The more we lose, the more we gain. The more that nothing stays the same. In time, can't love ever, can't forget. What you see is what you get. Sometimes, gonna show the world tonight the light that shines inside us. We're against the odds, but we won't give up, 'cause it's our time to shine. Standing in the spotlight, can no one back us down. Destiny is calling high in life. We're not afraid to fight for everything we love. Victory's on our side. Takiki-takiki-takitao. 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 Everything that still holds us. 'Cause it's our time to shine. Standing in the spotlight, can no one back us down. Destiny is calling high in life. We're not afraid to fight for everything we love. Victory's on our side. It's our time to shine high in life. Coming for you. It's time. They gon' get. Raise defense, about to commence. My senses can feel the suspense. Don't be tense, get off the fence. Strike them down with my biting sequence. Let me just take a breath out of all of their tricks. They might put me to the test, but I got finesse. And I feel the opposition, but it won't be for long. Let the story be written, we were rid of the wrongs. How did I get myself in a battle like this? My fate is hanging in the balance of the wind. Trouble's always knocking at my door like a song rising up. We're stronger as one. I've got all the power, enemies devoured. In the final hour, hit from a mile, the victors roar. They play a charade. They'll find out that it's too late. Struck a match, it's up in flames. Out of the ash, a legend is born. They'll tremble just
Game on! Everything begins! Welcome to the 2023 KIC version introduction. KIC 2023 brings together multiple representative teams from different countries and regions to compete on the same stage. In order to provide a more diverse gaming experience and ensure fairness to the tournament while considering the players from various countries and regions, we have specially created the KIC 2023 tournament version. This KIC will use the standard Heroes Gorge 5v5 battlefield. By participating in operation and team fights, competing for resources, improving your level and equipment, destroying the enemy's crystal, and ultimately achieving victory in the match. In addition to hero confrontations, there are various monsters scattered on the battlefield that provide powerful buffs when killed. Among them, the Overlord and the Tyrant, which spawn at the 4-minute mark, are crucial resources that both sides must contest. Killing the Overlord assists the team's progress, while defeating the Tyrant significantly increases the chance of winning team fights. The Overlord and the Tyrant evolve at the 10-minute mark, making them tougher to kill. but the rewards are higher. When the match reaches 20 minutes, the Tempest Dragon will descend onto the battlefield, and a successful kill will grant the team the power to potentially end the match. While contesting resources, it's also crucial to pay attention to the impacts of special mechanics. The jungle sprite's protection and tower protection mechanisms in the area before the 4-minute mark are particularly important. Don't blindly attack and give the opposing team a chance to defend and counterattack. Moreover, utilizing teleportation mechanisms effectively can create situations where you have a numerical advantage, laying the foundation for winning the match. As for the hero pool, this KIC features a total of 94 distinct heroes, which includes 72 heroes from Honor of Kings and 22 heroes from Arena of Valor. There are popular heroes from Honor of Kings like Mei Yin and Jing, as well as representative heroes from Arena of Valor like Butterfly and Zip. In upcoming episodes, we'll continue to introduce more, so please stay tuned. On other aspects, Arcana and Common Skill can be customized before the match starts to enhance hero attributes and diversify gameplay. Equipment, on the other hand, needs to be purchased in-game to strengthen the hero's abilities and help the team secure victory in the match. That's the special edition of the Hero Moments version introduction for this issue. Let's look forward to the performances of various heroes on the KIC battlefield this time. Mei Yin has diverse skill combos featuring abilities such as dash, crowd control, and untargetability. She's the well-rounded fighter hero on the side lane with comprehensive mechanics.
I'm working smart.
Mei Yin's passive skill is slack off a little bit. Using her skills consume her strength, punch strength, and kick strength. So if you're not careful, she'll sit down to slack off, increasing the rate of strength recovery. During this time, Mei Yin will also randomly restore her health. Mei Yin's skill 1, whatever one, allows her to dash forward, pulling enemies in front of her and inflicting damage. Quickly using skill 1 plus skill 1 has Mei Yin leap into the air and strike downward, dealing damage and launching back enemies within the area. Quickly using skill 1 plus skill 2 performs a combo of punches and kicks, dealing damage and restoring her own health. This is her most frequently used damage output combo. Mei Yin's skill 2, whatever 2, allows her to somersault forward, evading enemy attacks. Mei Yin gains immunity when casting this skill, which can be used to reduce damage taken and restore her HP. Quickly using skill 2 plus skill 2 has Mei Yin kick toward the enemy, causing damage and restoring her HP. She flips and leaps into the air, during which she cannot be targeted and continues to recover HP. Quickly using skill 2 plus skill 1, Mei Yin teleports behind the enemy to perform a spinning kick, knocking back the target and causing damage. Successfully defeating the target can restore her HP and strength. Mei Yin's ultimate, Get Serious, deals damage to nearby enemies, immediately restoring one slot of punch strength and kick strength, and increasing the maximum storage for strength to 3 slots. During this time, Mei Yin speeds up and reduces the effect of slowing, making it a buff skill. This episode of Hero Moments concludes here. Let's all look forward to Mei Yin's performance in the upcoming KIC tournament.
不想练功。
夫子是不是说过打赢你就不用练功了？夫子，这招叫溜之大吉。
哼，小蛮尼。
Featuring versatile offensive abilities and exceptional ganking skills, the blue-collar warrior Musashi excels at locking onto enemies with high success rates.
State your name, challenger.
Musashi's passive skill is Niten Ichiru. After casting the skill, it accumulates Vigor 1 and reduces the cooldown of Skill 1 and Skill 2. One Vigor can deal extra damage to targets with over half of their health remaining, and deliver a deadly execution blow to those with less than half health. Under the influence of Vigor 2, Musashi dashes forward, slashing his blade to deal damage and slow down the target. To master the timing of basic attacks, be sure to disable auto basic attacks. Musashi's skill 1 is Illuminating Slash. It can knock down enemy projectiles while dealing damage to enemies in the path and slowing them down. Musashi gains immunity while casting this skill, which can also be used to dodge certain crowd control effects. Musashi's skill 2, Extreme Speed. When casting the skill, Musashi dashes forward and deals damage to the enemies. Upon hitting enemies, he gains a shield and the skill's cooldown will be reduced. Musashi's ultimate, Duel to the Death, locks onto and dashes toward enemies, dealing damage and launching them, gaining immunity and damage reduction during that time. Enemies will experience delayed effects for all recovery until after the Duel to the Death. So Musashi excels at countering high recovery heroes like Chen Yaojin and Little Lu. Musashi is an all-around hero combining effects like immunity, dash, crowd control, and imperil, and can rightfully claim the title Musashi the Unrivaled when fully developed. That's it for this episode of Hero Moments. Let's look forward to Musashi's performance in the upcoming KIC competition.
Well met, friend.
那你还骂我是红面的兄弟，亚年。
The same scenario is still happening.
Oh my god！
干体力没啥的，就干体力。
OK， 兄弟。
Just collapsed by these kind of surroundings.
漂亮。
来干胶满兄弟。
And here's also Lily getting taken out. Jinan still getting taken out also, but here's Jinan on the final one, and here's gonna be taken out by one.
Around 4 minutes. What a huge advantage the AG made in this early game.
This is gonna be 1 for 5 trade.
And AG just aced one team esports. The Great Wall. Who built it? Who watches over it?
Look at him taking control of the Giant Dragon here. Only one minor damage. Needed to stop the dragon. Harley did it.
Oh, shut down.
Think I'd be interested in something small like this? Let me see.
Oh, Alha getting the kill. Nuber's in trouble. He goes almost going down, but Huang goes taken out. 4 members getting taken out.
Come and get squashed. Oh man, this is gonna be so much fun.
OK， 慢慢杀，不管。
He says he's dangerous. That's right. He jumps in, and look at this. Super.
Get out of my way.
Super survived. She got all those damages. Triple kill. Oh my god, that was 400 kill. No way.
Penny for your thoughts.
可以，不要来这个，不卖。
One trade. Changing hands. It's going to be easy follow.
我卖，跑了。
And this Motion is going to have to blast away. He's still got a great position. Wonderful. Gonna resurrect. But
把接杀了。
it's gonna be a double kill for Shen. Triple kill.
Even a triple kill, and they are guarding the last member. It's gonna be a quadra kill.
没事。 加油！
Cold heart, cold hand, your life, no plan to take you higher. Stand still, ignite the flame. Don't change and watch the whole world light up. We'll keep on moving on.
准备涨百分比才能安全。
我们希望还在点，不行，一个大
来吧，让我们迎接巅峰对决。
正面当我被打出过奖讲话，无力无言。
Cause we are invincible.
战将军再到了近将军1-2-1往回退，但是小牛不依不饶，再冲上去，结果小明再接一个闪现大招，杀到手。 加入龙兵进去，阿泽被火箭大刀出来清线，但加入拉开身位，上面打击要满，再来一点点，收下了孙尚香。
At least now it seems like it's time to come face to face with your fear. I'ma come out swinging when they open the gate. Go ahead, call passion, I'm calling it rage. I'm taking what's mine like I already own it. Watch but don't blink, going here to the moment. Here's to the moment, the sky rained down. Here's to the madness that's all.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is the 2023 Honor of Kings World Championships. I'm your caster, Isaac Peña.
I'm the caster for today, Jamie. The very first BO7s, we're going to do the testing together to you. Just like yesterday, the second half, we had doing this 2 shifts in 1 row for the two of us.
Yes.
And I think the game's going to be really different because, not to mention, those teams are different, but still, you can see the vibe for this one will be quite the
Completely
the
different
same.
thing.
Yes.
Because yesterday it was the upper bracket and today we're already starting the lower bracket. This is already the last step, the last ticket, the last opportunity that they have in order to make it forward. If they lose in this game, that's going to be it. Lights off and they just go home.
Obviously, I think their goals are completely different for RW. I think they need to prove themselves to be still on the run in KIC. I think the first one they have with Kiro, even though they only lose it in the ultimate battle, but still you can see something is missing if you're comparing with how they actually performed in the group stages. Definitely 2 teams, maybe something like goes too wild, I would say. For example, Zixian might be going too deep, you know, somehow in the team fights. So yeah, I think basically what they should be doing for today's matchups and trying to keep peace, keep calm, and get the things that you really need to succeed in the game.
The opponent in front of them is going to be a completely different one, right? Like they had a very tough match against Nanjing Hero and they forced it all the way to 7 games. So that's already going to be very interesting. The fact that they could force Hero all the way until the top. But today is going to be, on the other hand, one team esports, the challengers, that they're going to try to step in front of their goal.
Because nobody is going to be blaming one team esports for losing for AG because a lot of teams did. Just like Chongqing Wolves yesterday lost to AG in that ultimate battle. So I think for one team esports, because they are the only wildcard teams make it so far to the knockout stage, my personal wish, or I think their goal is going to try, trying to gain at least 1 or 2 points on the 2 wins going against Jinan RW. Because definitely you can see those weaknesses are very obvious because they are all like AOV players before. So they might be feeling a lot of stress and a lot of difficulties during the BP because they need to exercise those HOK heroes in a very short time slot.
We have been doing this already for a while, and you know that for those teams coming out of the KPL, it is very difficult for them to make it all the way until the top 8, right? Like only once we have had one team that made it all the way to top 4.
Yes.
But to the top 8, already one team esports already made their goal for this tournament. If they're able to take the victory today against Jinan RW, that would be a very big surprise for everyone in here.
So one team esports have already fulfilled their job before they go into 2023 KIC to prove them to be the best out of all the wildcard qualifiers teams, and I think they did it pretty much amazingly because they are the all-time winning wins 10 games in the qualifiers, and in the group stages still performed quite good comparing with other wildcard teams. So I think their main goal has already there. They have already realized and make a lot of things come into the reality in this 2023 KIC. What they should be doing is just trying to gain more exercise, gain more experiences in the game so that you will be better players in the future.
It is always very good just to see teams like one team esports coming into these stages and then just put in a question for us, right? Like in 1 year, in 12 months, where are these 5 people going to be? Are they still going to be here back to the KIC? Or are they going to be gone out of our way? Who knows about that?
Yes. Look at Wushan. The statistics from Wushan is really amazing. Even though he kind of lost it, he kind of got this very amazing statistic reduced in the knockout stage because of the 7 battles we have with a hero. But still, you can see Wushan really struggling a lot here in the game 5 and game 6 going against hero. You can see he really wants to step out for the team, but somehow you can see the chemistry is not here. I think the synergy needs to be bounced back for RW for today's matchup.
And I don't even think that it's a problem of Wushuan, right? It's just a problem of what the hero was doing against him in that exact game 5 and game 6. The way that they were banning, the BP did not work really well for Wushuan in those 2 games. So it was really difficult for him to really stand up. But well, like today against One Team Esports, he's got no excuses, and he's gonna have to really show us in these first 4 games what is he made of.
Remember the one he used, Zuka, still have the MVP awarded to Wushan one more time?
Yes.
As I remember, I think Wushan have already gained like 4 times of the MVP using this hero. So definitely, I think One Team Esports should be given a lot of a lot of targets towards this kind of like jungler assassin heroes. A lot of audiences are trying to compare like the playing style with Wushan going against the Wolves, like the Xiaopan, because they both performed really amazing or really aggressively using this kind of assassin when they're sending this kind of particular heroes. So yeah, I think Wushan is given a lot of expectations from me, from all the audiences as well.
It is important for us to understand that in terms of BP, that's going to be the one opportunity that One Team Esports has to really turn things around. Can they really just kind of like counter completely Wushuan's picks and allow Jesai to have something that he would like?
But obviously, from all our predictions, even though I was not in here, but I think I got the same idea like you did. For this one, like Nora, Gekken, and Andy both have the same opinion about this. Oh, I think you have a very minor differences.
Oh yeah,
us.
I have a 4-1. I have a 4-1. I believe that Jinan RW are in a completely different level right now to where One Team Esports is. But at the same time, I do believe that One Team Esports can take either game 1 or game 2. That is the opportunity that they have. When all the opportunities, when all the options are out there, what can they do in the BP to really give them the upper hand, at least in one of the first games? That is going to be in. If in game 1 and game 2, they do not find the key for victory, then it's going to be very likely that they might end up in a 4-0.
I think for Yao Yao, what she needs to do for the team is trying to figure out what will be the best solution in the early 3 games instead of thinking a lot in game 5 and game 6. How about thinking of how to actually get those score 100, those like golden composition every single time in the early 3 if RW is choosing to hide something. If RW is saving some heroes in game 5 and game 6 like we saw yesterday and the day before yesterday, so that might be your chances because you can choose to throw everything you got in game 1 and game 2.
Set yourself a realistic goal, and your realistic goal over here is come out to game 1, take a W, get a victory, and if you can come into game 2 and take a second victory, who knows? We might be up here for a big surprise. Who knows?
And I think losing that in the Ultimate Battle versus Hero, it's a very huge like blast, or somehow is a very huge like punch towards all W members, because just remember that interview we had with Zishan, right? Those first match interview. I think those momentum are no longer there. Like Zishan is basically like a fallen balloon or something. Like something is really missing.
It was just looking like his body language was just showing us how important it was that game for them and how sad they were for not taking the victory.
Yes.
I feel like it had a very big impact psychologically on them. Will they be able to bounce back today? I hope so, because they are, for me, one of the teams that have taken the spotlight in this KIC2023.
Of course. They're the main character.
Yeah.
And we're looking at the roster for both teams, and nothing really changes up because it will be really risky for you trying to change your starting up list. And let's get ready for the battle.
Now it seems like it's time to come face to face with your fear. I'ma come out swinging when they open the gate. Go ahead, call passion, I'm calling it rage. I'm taking what's mine like I already own it. Watch but don't blink, going here's to the moment. Here's to the moment.
欢迎来到2023王者荣耀世界冠军杯 KIC 淘汰赛的现场。首战失利的侠客今天将接受外卡之光的挑战，谁能率先调整好状态，挺身而出，我们共同期待。首先有请第一支队伍 One Team Esports。
All right, and let's welcome our first team in this amazing battle, One Team Esports.
We have with you Dai Saiki, Jiezai, and Lucky. And I think in this type of the game, in such a big tournament, like Lucky will be one of the core because Lucky is supposed to be the most experienced player ever. He has a lot of gaming experience in different type of the tournaments. So yeah, I think as the oldest brother, you know, in the game, you are supposed to tell your teammates, stay calm, stay safe, and we'll just do whatever we have been planned so far for this one.
And as a support, he needs to take understanding the fact that he's the one making the calls, right? Like he's the one that needs to be taking the rhythm of the game, taking the information, transmitting what their opponents are doing. And their opponents for today, Jinan, RW, Rogue Warriors.
RW is ready. They are okay. After a few days of the rest here, maybe like spending one day or a night, you know, trying to figure out what really went wrong for Chenfeng. Yeah, definitely. I think the early game races and the early game like rhythm is there, but still, you have to hold yourself there. When you're leading, do not make those positioning mistakes like you did before. Everything will be fine.
They might be able to take this game completely different because of the fact that they don't have to really take control of the game early. They just need to let the minutes go, play simple, take the jungle, take the resources, and the game is gonna open in a moment for them. It is gonna be an opening.
Because I mean, for Jinan RW, they definitely have something deeper in their hearts they wanted to get ready for, because after today, tomorrow, the December the 26th, the very first game they're gonna do with Chongqing Wolves if they manage to win out of this. So yeah, I think basically, they have their goal setting up for the next one, not this one.
If they win today, that's gonna be a tough one for tomorrow. So let's talk about that. Let's start thinking on the fact that they might just have their minds just broken in between today's match and tomorrow's match.
Yes.
As a coach, how do you try to kind of like hide extra skills, extra hero picks, compositions, knowing that you're facing probably Chongqing Wolves tomorrow? That's 24 hours from now.
Yeah.
How do you choose the BP today to probably just try to hide a little bit?
I think for somehow like Chongqing Wolves and Jinan RW, those teams who have already gone through that ultimate battle, it's quite fair to them because they are both showing their answers towards the ultimate battles. And I think for recent games, all the teams are not hiding anymore. There's no room for you to hide anymore. You can see how squishy those like BP is, how limited those hero pools are in the Game 5 and Game 6. Even though you have a lot of preparations, I still think that the coaches team, the team, the players are actually throwing out everything they got. They can possibly be preparing for this one.
Well,
so yeah, nothing to hide. They're all on the table.
In a world where there's no secrets, there's nothing to hide. You just need to go there, take the heroes that you believe are the best, try to finish this early. Let's just finish this 4-0 and then just try to get as much practice as they can for tomorrow. That might be the mentality that is going through right now Jinan RW's team. Now on the other side, for One Team Esports, what they're thinking is, how do we get this miracle to happen? How do we get this victory? They need that victory. It would be their first victory against a KPL team, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I think their goal is there because we've been talking about this for a long time since the wildcard qualifier started. Those teams are trying so hard, not only trying to compete, not only trying to win over each other, but also trying to set a goal. From now on, we have a lot of KIC every year. But there's no one from the wildcard qualifiers who can actually have a win going against any single KPL teams. Now, the winning rate is still 100% for those KPL teams dealing with the fact that they have to do a fight BO2, BO1 going against the wildcard qualifiers. So it will be a reason. There will be a goal for them trying to chase up for. If they take down Jinan RW, they're going to be the very first team to do this ever for the KPL for the KIC 2023.
It is going to be a tough one. It is really difficult when you are in front of a challenger that you see that historically you do not have the odds on your favor. How do you really build that mentality for you to really try to fight that David against Goliath battle?
Yes.
We still don't know. One of the things that I do know is that Jieza is going to be one of the people that's going to have the spotlight on him. He's going to be the main core for one team. As long as Jieza gets resources, as long as he gets strong picks, he might be able to try to do something. It's only second in the amount of MVPs in the whole tournament with 11 MVPs for Jieza.
Yeah, Jieza has an amazing performance in the slims in the wildcard qualifiers, like because we're still not using that 154 in the wildcard qualifiers. So they can get a Cathony or slims every single time they want, since it's a BO1 and BO2. And yeah, I think Jieza is super confident with those AOV shooters on his hand. But still, if you got somehow banned away in this BO7s, what's going to be your choice? We see like Jieza play in Arlie quite often. I think Arlie will be quite a substitute or some kind of replacement for those AOV shooters and marksmen in this current format, where you will only be allowed to choose one AOV heroes ever for every single game and rounds. Let's see, the first game, One Team Esports is going to be in the blue side, which is a very good advantages for their team trying to perform better. And Jinan RW is going to do the ban, the BPs in the red.
BP on the red, so that means that they need all their bans are gonna be already locked, right? Like in the first game, there's nothing else that you can do when you're on the red side. The three bans are very logical. It's going to be Caffeine, it's going to be Slims, it's going to be Butterfly. There's nothing to discuss in there.
Zai Zai getting his first hero as a Jin. Yeah, I think Zai Zai using Jin. We have few like highlights of Zai Zai using a Jin and like the Xenial player. We have been talking about this player for a long time, but I believe this might be the first time ever we see like Jin and together with the Xenial in the BO7s.
All right, that would be really good, right? Like as long as the mirror domain can find the right moment to proc and to be able to be online, Xenial can just teletransport and be there quickly and allow Jin just to deal even more damage and stay online for longer.
But I'm so sorry to see one more time like Jinan RW is giving this Zugal out like so ahead of everything. Yeah. It's really rare for us to see a Zuka being the pick in game one for either sides. So yeah, I think you definitely just imagine how much confidence you have from Wushuang using this hero.
I hope that Wushuang is going to really step up and take that hero and then just really carry the whole team. He's going to have a good opportunity as long as Chanfeng's Yixin is going to be able to create the box, to lock in my Shinanui, to lock in the back laners from One Team Esports. It should be a good position for Kim to jump in.
I think Yixin is a very good choice here because like Yixin is one of the most picked hero ever. Just in the second place in the middle laner, the first one is going to be Liliana. He comes up in the second one as having almost like 100% of it being picked right now. And yeah, I think the reason they have this Yixin is because once you're the minute you're making sure that the mirroring domain is setting up there, you can always using your ultimate trying to circle down, trying to lock in those members standing in that position. And I think Yixin is such a counter pick towards my Shibanui. As long as you have the vision here, you can always get it under your control.
And One Team Esports is gonna put all the meat on the burner because they might go with that Arlie pick with Xenial and with Jing and with Moatsu and Mai Shiranui. One Team Esports is just putting everything in there. Yeah. They know that they won this game one. They're just gonna go with everything they've got just toss it in there.
And you know, you have the blue side. This is one natural advantages you got in this one. So what about, like, how about just leaving everything out there? Pick your most comfortable and most confident heroes in every single position, making sure that as long as you're leading, as long as you're gaining some advantage in the game, you can actually turn something bigger into the future. Maybe start snowballing, maybe aiming for something good. And Huayun is having this Garo, a lot of respects here, but still, you can see those assassins is going to be giving Huayun quite a difficult time. During the laning, during the team fights, every single minute in this game, Huayun will be suffering a lot.
It's going to be a lot of pressure on Xiaoyun, because Xiaoyun is going to be the bodyguard, trying to keep Garo alive, trying to be pushing people away. But there's so many people coming from many different angles, right? You've got Mai Shiranui coming from the flank. You might have Arlie just coming to the front, and you might have Jin just coming from one side.
Yes.
How do you proc your ult if you can only push in one direction?
Xiaoyun must, you know, choose someone to be your target before you unleash your ultimate. Choose the most important guy, maybe directly towards that Zai, because that Zai is definitely getting to your backlines with a Z there, right? The other parties, I think they're okay because they're winning solo, but just imagine that the Jin finds Garo on the back, and Xena will be there. This angelic splendor is going to be helping this Jin a lot, trying to take down Huayun. Huayun has been shoulder up this kind of stress, but Huayun has been doing this for a long time, almost all of his professional career. Huayun is, you know, doing the role.
Just being surrounded by enemies.
Yeah, he's used to it.
Imagine what kind of a life that
it.
has been for the man. Just being surrounded by enemies every single game. The kind of stress. All right, the coaches are going to shake hands, and that's going to be our cue to start this amazing game. This is going to be the last time that we're going to see the two of them at the same time on stage, because this could be the end for one of them. One of them is going to go and play against Chongqing Wolves, and one of them is going to be sent back home.
And I think Shankai and Yao Yao are really close friends, you know, in the real life. Actually, I think Shankai told Yao Yao a lot about how the strategics are going in the BP, how well you can try to, you know, they're exchanging their ideas towards this meta. And yeah, it's always a very good story, you know, seeing two friends, you know, being the opponent, being the enemies towards one another, and, you know, enjoying the fun at all.
Come on, we're all a big honor of King's family.
Yes.
Regardless that right now we are opponents, we're all friends after the game one. Ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna be it. The lower bracket round one, game one between One Team Esports on the blue and Jinan RW on the red. I'm your caster, Isaac Peña.
And Tae, let's start game one. Let's see how One Team is using this very good composition, trying to start everything over. Look at how the player-heavy manager are giving those encouragements to One Team players, wishing for the best.
Lucky's Cannon Blast is going to be a key initiation for One Team, right? Like whatever that he can do with that Mozu, it's gonna just set the cue for the ambush. It's gonna be very important for Lucky, as you mentioned, what he can do today.
In the beginning, how they arranged the laning is really good, because like Psyche needs to be helped, needs to be kind of assisted by this Mozu so that they can clean this wave almost exactly the same as Chenfeng and Xiaoyin did. So Arlie is doing those solo laning going against Huayun. Nothing happened, nothing bad happens at the time.
Nothing bad happens, but I can see that Arlie is going to make it to level 4.
Yes.
Right? It's going to be Garo, the one that's going to make it to level 4 way before GSS Arlie. And that might be a problem for them, because I can see that Zuka is going to be on his path to the bottom lane in about 20 seconds. And this wave right over here.
And Zuka definitely needs to be spotted. Like, a lot of members have to carry this kind of responsibility, find out where Wushan is. Such a dangerous signal. You know, as long as you see Zuka's traveling around, you smell some danger here. Wushan is sickly, maybe hiding in the left side of the river, trying to go up, help Charlotte deal the laning. And one good news is Mai Shiranui also follows up.
Yeah, they know what the opening is going to be for RW. And they want just to start blocking it. They might not have the initiative, but at the end of the day, they know how to play the game. As long as they know exactly where the movements are, it's going to be difficult for RW to take the upper hand.
Yeah, So far, so good.
As of right now, I think that it's still going in a very good way for One Team Esports.
Yeah.
But we talked about RW not having to pressure, right?
Yes.
They don't need to make the mistake.
I think as long as we have a perfectly farmed Azuka, everything is okay on the side of RW.
2 against 1. Jizuen's gonna have to try to flash away. Hadouken's gonna put him on the air. Xenial still's got eyes on him. Do not want to force it and sends him back.
So Jinan gets like finish laning so early, so that given granted him the time he needs to actually go into the farm from Time Esports, looking for the opportunities for Jinan.
They want to slow down Jing, right? But this Jing has been doing really well, and I don't think that Zai has been. I don't think that with you has had any problem up until right now.
Yeah, they're actually switching roles. Like Zai used to be the junglers, and for this very important one, I think with you is more like confident with Jin use, ending up with the reason why he got to the jungler for this one. But nothing wrong. This happened to wildcard teams a lot.
Yeah. That is one of the beautiful things about KIC, right?
Yes.
We don't get to see that a lot from January to November. But when December comes and Christmas is around, that's the present that we receive. Crazy choices and crazy picks.
I was actually quite, no, not surprised, but kind of satisfied to see RW like this, because doesn't really want to see RW being too arrogant or being too excited in the game, so that they're making those mistakes they used to make, like the one they have with Hero.
Respect, right?
Yeah, stepping one at a time, like waiting for the time where Garo will be online, waiting for the time where Zuka and Yixing are ready for the battle. Being patient.
Garo's still pretty far away from being online, right? Because it's very item dependent, and it's still not there. Arlie, on the other hand, already with Doomsday done.
So instead of doing the laning all the time, I think One Team Esports should be understanding their strength in this particular composition better by making further moves. Because RW is not fighting back. That sadly, you have to find for opportunities. Maishlanui needs to move around a little bit more, just instead of simply sticking to the mid like he's doing right now.
He's gonna try to put in. Ban was not enough, but look at that. Zuka's going to take the Tyrant, and right now it's going to be Tizuen, the one that has a target on his back. He might be the first blood, but he runs under the turret. Still not going to be enough, because Xenial's going to come and claim it. First blood for One Team Esports.
Very good news, very good start from One Team Esports, but on the contrary, look at how RW is respond to this. A very quick gathering around, making sure that Huawei can get his tier 1 on the bottom.
Yeah, nothing that Yesai can do about that. And Xenial is going to try his very best just to try to turn that top lane turret as well for the blue team. They might have taken the first blood, but losing that turret down there is going to allow Garo just to start moving around as well.
Alright, Lushan is the one making the move right there because he's so feeling amazing about his personal items here. The damage is in line, almost getting a solo kill though.
Nothing that he could have done. It was Xenial the one that wanted to help out. Now Locke is going to proc his ult. He's going to get 2v2 against Tiger over here on the bottom. And Yesai is going to fall.
Red team has slain an
I think Lucky did really well using that flash with the ultimate, trying to make sure Huawei gets stunned over there.
Yes.
But one thing is that Xiaoyan is aiming at Jiezai. Jiezai is really low in the HP, so cannot simply just follow, trying to catch up with the following damage you really need to take down Huawei. So yeah, very good distraction by Xiaoyan. He became a monster and trying to chase up for this very low HP Arlie, and Arlie cannot simply get on, and the damage Lucky needs to take down Huawei is not enough.
The problem is that with you, he's being taken extremely low at the beginning of the fight, right? It was just 2-3 punches coming in for Zuka, and then he was already very low in HP. Amazing opening here from Chenfeng as well.
And I think that Lushan has a very deep understanding towards Jin, so he's basically predicting where is the angle, where's the possible landing position of this Jin, and those minor smash and out attack is just so accurate. He brings out this 1v1 in this one. It's so hard for a Zuka trying to get the solo kill going against Jin. It's all about the execution. It's all about the personal experiences.
The mechanics of it, right? The understanding of the heroes. Yours and the opponent. Look at Garo, has a great position. It's going to be the Wild Blood coming in, and they're going to take the blue buff and just going to run away.
you can start to see like the RW is fighting back hard, even without actually engaging, that they're taking those resources away from One Team Esports really easily, setting like Zijuan as a goal, you know, attracting their strategies and trying to make sure that you have to like split Zijuan really well. I think Zijuan takes a lot for the team. He's there, you know, getting the vision from the jungle. He's there soaking up the damage because like Xiaoyu needs to be paired up with a Darrow, so the only frontliners who can step a little bit deeper into the battlefield will be Zijuan.
Up until right now, the vision control looks a little bit better for RW, but it's not still very tragic and critical for One Team Esports. They still have a little bit of an opportunity. But look at that, Arlie's been taken extremely low. Jensa has a good position and it's going to be the mirror domain. Has no one right over there. It's only going to be Zijuan, the one that's taking in all the damage, allowing RW to push back.
But somehow, like, you're seeing, like, Psyche, like, Mai Shitanui is kind of missing from this battlefield, which means that you're, like, you're missing a lot of magical bursting damage from this one. So
wow! Finds Chunfang in the bush. 1, 2, 3. He's going to proc his passive. He's going to survive because of the shield coming in from Xiaoyu. Now they want to go on the counter attack. Xiaoyu is going to go into his wild blood form. He's coming in and allowing the vision.
You can see the positioning there. You can see like how the teams are working together. Like Chunfang using a flash deck back at the back from the Xiaoyu, and Xiaoyu is using the ultimate to knock like Psyche one more time. And Psyche is waiting for this chance a long time ago.
No, it was good. Like if it wouldn't have been an Easy because of Easy's passive, then it would have been a total kill.
Yeah.
But sadly for him, he found the one hero that could actually survive. To the damage dealt right now by Psyche with only a Scepter Reverberation. Taking a 1v1 against this Gen. Zijuan wants to use his ultimate to try to escape, but Psyche is going to come in and call that a 1v1.
The gradation is going to be given Zijuan extra time. Bazooka is still trying to look for this Mai Shitanui. With this kind of gold, with these kind of leading in the items, let's see, like Wuzhong will be invisible all the time, can still do damage till the very end.
Huayun comes in, starts poking, takes one. He might want to take the second one, but Bazooka is the one that's going to claim it.
I think Wuzhong has a very deep understanding and a very accurate calculation as to like how many damage you can actually deal using those one minor like ad attacks. Like it's Jinan, it's a Xenia with not much like in his pocket, so Wuzhong feels so confident, you know, chasing back, even though he's so low, dashing forward, you know, gaining an extra shield for himself and went into the battle one more time.
Right now, everything is looking for Rogue Warriors. It looks like their plan is actually working out to perfection. They had a strategy, and it's going 1, 2, 3, 4, step by step. It is building right now into the 10 minutes. They have an opening on both bottom lane and top lane.
Bazooka is doing fine, like we expected Wuzhong to be, like farming at peacefully with a very fast pace though. It's only 10 minutes and 30 seconds, but he almost got 9.1k in gold, which means they nearly have a 900 gold per minute. That's impossible to do.
Just compared to what Jin got right now, there's no way that they can reply back. Jin doesn't want to take those 1v1s against Zuka no more.
Even though he has the help with this Xenia, I think I can still leave. They have to struggle a lot.
No, they don't have the opportunity. Look at that. Huayun is just coming in and taking the turrets completely uncontested because they know that one team do not want to engage in here. They don't have the ability. He's gonna proc his ult, and look at the reach, poking in, poking one, killing spree. Monza is the one that's gonna fall.
I think it's very hard for one team trying to switch for the very last ballista here, so the high ground tower is falling at this very point, and they have nothing else, you know, for the Bazooka. I think even though for this, at this very second, like one team is trying to focus on all the damage upcoming to the Bazooka, Bazooka can still make it very safely, you know, because of Jinan, because of a lot of things you can possibly try to find. Those protection control, it is really low, but with the Purify, you can see once again, he deactivates the face.
Look at that, it's going to fall, Tatsai is going to be taken down, and that puts a very difficult problem right now for one team. They won't be able to contest this Overlord if Rogue Warriors decide to open.
very impossible for One Team Esports trying to turn the thing back. Just take a look at the differences overall for the both teams, and I think like Garo is getting those enough items, right? Even though Garo is so like items independent, but still.
Very difficult right now. Right now, at this moment, I don't see a way for One Team Esports to turn things around more than just Garo being walking around alone. And we know that Xiaoyin is not going to allow that. But even that, like they still have Wushuan Zuka that is just gigantic in the moment. Almost 12,000 gold. Look at that, Bayon's got a great angle, comes in, pokes Xenial 3 times and sends him back to the fountain. Lucky, he's going to be the next target. Zuka is going to send him back. Unstoppable as the Overlord. The Vanguards are coming in. Over time, Wild Blood push him back. Hadouken comes in. Mashiranu is going to fall. Right now it's going to be Jin, the last hope for One Team Esports. Trying to take against 5. He's going to fall. The Vanguards on the crystal. First game, Rogue Warriors.
Very easy, very simple, and even though you're seeing like One Team Esports is doing quite well during the laning, and they actually have the first blood to their side, but they somehow are slowing things down in around like 3 minutes to 6 minutes. We thought that they're going to be more aggressive. We thought they're going to be some move, you know, before RW reach for that very final destination. You have to stop them somehow during their rotations, right? Like put your machinery, give them like more press. For example, Jedi and Lucky are having such a good time on the bottom. How about like switching the Psyche on the bottom and give your mid laners towards Jin? Jin can have double lanes, enjoying the extra gold, enjoy the extra experiences like he wanted to have like in his mind. So a lot of things can be done like better. For example, to the allocation of the resources, for example, how they actually can started doing those very efficient ranking and those rotation that they really need in the game.
I believe that what broke that balance in between these two teams was the fight where they go up to the top, and then Xenial takes the first blood, right? They do take the first blood, but then the turret falls on the bottom, allowing Garo just to start taking resources from everywhere. Starts allowing Garo just to go in the jungle, take some jungle resource, going into the mid, take some minion waves, and just started bulking and bulking and bulking into what came up at the end. I don't think that there was a very big mistake coming in from One Team Esports. The problem is that if you are going to play the tug of war and just trying to pull and give and pull and give, there's going to be a moment where you're going to understand that Jinan RW got bigger muscle than you. And then it's not going to be a fight that you can stand for 20 minutes.
Because they know exactly, you know, you can always use a teleportation strategy for Xenial to go away from the top, maybe to the bottom. So how about like give Xenial a try? It helped like early a lot using your ultimate, trying to follow up, maybe forcing things to happen on the bottom instead of like sticking to like 2-3 formation all the time, trying to figure out whether it's going to be our opportunity for Jin together with Xenial trying to take down the Charlotte. I think Charlotte is not that good as a target, as a goal for you to do in the early game, because definitely the HP bar, the blood or the damage deduction built it in the crit of the Charlotte's kind of hero is quite hard trying to take down. Adding together with the turret's protection, just imagine how many damage will be deducted for Charlotte trying to avoid if you are getting onto the turret trying to get the kill for your team. So yeah, I think basically Garo will be such an easy target for you to do this. They have a Zhangfei, so what? You have a Xenial. You can always make sure you have better like people on the bottom, just like they're doing in the game.
Just thinking about just the rotation, just leaving Charlotte, as Kenny just mentioned, just do not focus on that Charlotte, just let that Charlotte just live on its own. It's totally fine. They should have just thought about the fact that they had so many assassins, and in no moment Garo was under any pressure. That was the problem, I believe. Just that Garo did not have any pressure, and they had the composition to actually come in and try to force something to happen in the bottom.
And we've seen a lot of teams, maybe from AG, are playing this practically the same composition like One Team Esports have for this one. So the basic logic for AG to do with this composition is to make sure that you have a very fast rotation. This Malaysian Nui is helping Jiezai, is helping early a lot on the bottom, and I think Garo is such easy targets in the early term, which is a very easy target for you to take down initially. So yeah, I think they have to set a deeper or more obvious or more straight ideas as to what to do in the early game instead of just waiting for the opportunities in the mid game.
Sadly for One Team Esports, they took a very big opportunity right now using those 5 heroes that they were like very strong and very useful for them, and sadly they were unable to take the victory. They still have an opportunity in game 2. There's still going to be a lot of options out there. Sadly for them, they won't have that Jing, and they won't have that early that GSI really likes.
So if you have been watching a lot of wildcard teams versus KBL teams, you gradually have some ideas. It's not enough for those wildcard teams trying to get the first blood or the first 2 bloods. It's never enough like for them trying to actually take down those KPL teams, even though they suffer from the loss of the first blood. But you know, the after trauma solutions they found in the game will be completely different with wildcard teams.
Let us wait and see what One Team Esports can do in game 2, right? Like we need to see a lot more from GSI that sadly in this game was unable to show anything because of the advantage that RW just created in the bottom lane. You can see how the goal just started since the minute that they lost that turret, the goal just started coming in all the way for Jinan RW. They did not make any mistakes. That makes me very happy for Jinan RW. They came in and they didn't look stressed or nervous. They came in and they just got the deal sealed.
And yeah, one more time. We have to say this one more time. We've been seeing this picture a lot. I think it's a kind of fix here. Wushan have so many MVPs with using this Zuka. I believe every single time he uses Zuka, as long as they win, he's the MVP. He's that core.
Just imagine, when you are the top player, you know that you're the top player. Top dog, that's true. RW Wushuang is going to take the MVP one more, and that's going to put him at the top of the MVP list right now.
Yes, 13 MVPs in KIC.
Crazy.
There's no one from their team trying to compete with this.
No.
Like Xiao, you have 3, Hua Yun have 2, Zixuan have 2, and that's it. Wushuang have 13. Just imagine how this meta actually is working towards RW. Very straight answers. Our most important guy will be jungler, right?
A very clear composition, right? Like you know exactly who is going to be your main player, and then just build around him.
But you know, somehow this gives me those problems or those question marks in my own my thoughts. Like for example, if you are so determined or if you're so clear, you're giving those answers to the world that our jungler is very, very important. The only guy we are counting on always to be the winner for that one. Maybe you're giving answers towards your future enemies that how to target you down. Like Hero is following this trend. I believe Chongqing Wolves will do the same as well.
That is true. And if you come up to a moment where it's going to be between whose jungler is going to be the strongest, the next step is going to be Pang from Chongqing Wolves.
Yes.
So that's gonna be a very difficult one. It is gonna be really hard just for you to try to flex your muscles against someone with the size and the skill of Pang.
And it's not always there that for you to pick using this assassin. It's around BP, it's a global BP, and not to mention there's a 1+4 format for this. So there are limited assassins for you to choose from. You have to at least use those tankier type of the junglers. So what will be the one standing everything? Maybe it's Hua Yun, maybe it's Zixuan. We have to look for more answers in the future games.
We're gonna have to wait and see what's going to happen. Game 1 is done. Right now we're gonna start preparing for Game 2. Game 2 is going to be our second opportunity just to see if One Team Esports got what it takes to really just put their names in the history books. Let's wait and see what's going to happen, and we're gonna be back right after this break.
Red team has slain an enemy.
Unstoppable. Red team has destroyed a tower. Red team godlike. Red team has slain an enemy. Red team unstoppable.
Welcome back, welcome back. This is going to be game 2 between One Team Esports and Jinan RW. Right now, Jinan RW, after a 13 minutes battle, they took the first victory, and right now they're 1-0 ahead.
And yeah, I think, are they still on the blue? Like Jinan RW is choosing. Oh yeah, they're the one who lost here.
Yes, yes.
I think
Yes, miss.
maybe they have that advantages all the time.
Yeah.
For the 4 games, maybe.
I again, like as we were just talking right now, like I do believe that the bans are gonna be the same.
Yes.
Butterfly, Caffeine, and Slims. As long as they do not allow Caffeine and Slims on the other side, well, they're gonna put Jezza in a very tough position. He's gonna have to try to use different heroes that he might not be that familiar with.
And for One Team Esports, I think who can carry the team is very obvious for them. Nothing to actually hesitate from. I think, yeah, using your BAM places while trying to target down the Suzuka and the Zixian, and the Wushan, and everything will be fine. I wanted to see like RW playing more using Daqiao, maybe using the Zip.
It would be good. It would be good.
Like those special heroes.
Like it would be a good opportunity for them to just to practice the Daqiao strat, right? Just to practice how the Daqiao strat feels right over here, because they had an opportunity to play it against Nanjing Hero, and they squandered it because they tried to do something different in the mid lane. So what about if right now you just give it another go, and then just take a different mid laner? You take a Princess Frost, or you take a Troyu, maybe.
Because RW is not that good with Daqiao always. It's going to be a problem. It's going to be something missing from them. Starting in KPLs, yeah, I think if you really want to like go further in KIC, you have to have your understanding. You have to show, you have to exercise more using Daqiao. This might be it. This might be the opportunity you can finally do this. But everything runs really fast. Musashi and Lianpo, like 2 very tanky heroes adding together. You can start to see, like, imagine those aggression shown from the top side. And only Mai and Kaiser, I think it's not a very good idea trying to counter back.
Well, it's going to, they won't have the kind of damage that they need in the early game, right? And if you know that there's going to be a Musashi and a Lianpo, well, that still allows them a Xenial pick, right? Because we could just have Lianpo playing in a lot of different positions, and we could have Xenial the same. And a Xenial plus Musashi would be a good composition for our RW to try to practice.
And for this one, Chen Feng is feeling himself more using this machinery. This is the hero that he used in the Ultimate Battle, the most important game ever in BO7s. You definitely see some understanding towards this particular assassin in the mage that Chen Feng is feeling so confident, you know, using this kind of assassin. He believes strongly he can bring the very final victory for the team. I still believe that for every single coach, that if you ask them trying to think of a ultimate battle of the composition, nobody is going to be giving you this Maichinanui as a final answer. Definitely Chen Feng have something to do like with that final choice.
It might have been just him just talking to the coach and telling him, you know what, like I'm feeling I'm in the zone, just give it to me and I'll just carry the team. Sadly, he just kind of dropped the ball and he wasn't able to carry. On the other side, we're going to have Ming and Direnjie, which is going to be a very good pick. On the bottom lane, they do have an advantage right now with that Ming and Direnjie pick, right? Like because Direnjie can deal damage to the turret without even needing the minions. Plus the Ming boost that is going to give him won't be that scared of the damage coming in from Lady Sun.
We've been waiting for this Lomber to be picked a long time ago, right? It's like Lomber is such a good hero when it comes to initiation, when it comes to if it could pick in the support choices. But because like Lomber belongs to the side of AOV, so the same thing happened with the Ata. So which means that if you want to lock down this choice, it's taken places in your composition. It's not because Ata and Lomber is not that a good hero, that I think the category they fell into are kind of explaining to us.
When you start understanding the rules and you put them in comparison to the other heroes and the benefit that the other heroes could bring and the impact to the game that these other AOV heroes could have. Lumber and Ata just fall in the bottom places, so that I'm completely sure. But understand that Lumber plus Lady Sun has been always a composition that we've seen a lot during 2023, maybe not in KIC, but we have seen it in other KPL tournaments, that you start understanding why they would decide just to use that.
I think Lumber have a very strict targets directly towards those backlines. And more to that, Direnjie and Man, they're going to be standing very closely. So that will be another reason why Xiaoying gets this Lumber. You can actually get your CCs on the two targets at the same time. And Liliana will be expected to be good from One Team Esports. Liliana needs to stand out shining for the team, because basically I think the whole rhythm, the whole pace about this game will be kind of decided by how Psyche is playing this Liliana.
So interesting, because the design of those two heroes, of Mai Shiranui and Liliana, the design of these two heroes is very similar, right? Both of them can deal a lot of burst damage, and both of them can just have a very strong skill to ambush and to jump in.
I think for Liliana, he's more flexible, because you can always switch into different forms. Using the Fox form will be giving you higher pressing damage, a very set move towards your targets. But also if you trans back to a human mode, you're beginning a lot of dashes, and you can dack away. There's a poke inside your crits. So somehow I think Liliana is even better than Mai Shiranui, because you gotta pick sides. You can perform differently using different styles.
But you know what, Mai Shiranui is a very vintage hero. I like vintage. I am a very traditional man. All right, let's wait and see what's going to happen in this game. Already here, the battle in the bottom lane is going to be between this Lumber and Lady Sun against this Ming and Direnjie.
I think the targets and the goal for this different marksmen are completely different. Direnjie is looking for the waves, while Lady Sun is aiming at the people, right? So he's rolling around all the time, making sure that he can get that HP away from Direnjie.
And even though DRNJ might not have the initiation due to the choice of support that One Team Esports have chosen, but at the same time he can always just kind of like get HP back, and he can always just get that damage boost coming in from me. Ooh. Chen Feng is going to claim that jungle in there, waiting in the bush, and the fan came in at the right moment.
Yeah. I think Ming is a very good support when it comes to like supportive things he can possibly do for the shooter. You can give this like chain to your marksman, and whoever got collided here will be given extra attack or extra defense. When it comes to the choices given to Min, Min can shift different modes here. When it comes to gold, this like color here will be showing that like this DRNJ will be tankier.
Oh, look at that! In tankier he just became, because in that 3v2 they were able to survive. That was exactly in the right moment. That explanation, Tanya, really on point, because they just went from purple chain to gold chain when they saw that they were on the back hill and they were trying to escape.
Very good execution, you know, by Lucky. Change the chain into a golden one, making sure that like Jiezai will be safe during this laning here.
Ming is not an easy support to play with, because of the decisions, the understanding of the battle that you need to give, right? Like we know that its ultimate longevity can allow you to share a lot of your HP with the teammate that you are connected with. So knowing exactly when to proc that, when is going to be the right moment, not doing it too early, not doing it too late as well. That is something really difficult to measure.
With the purple chain one more time, like Jiezai with a red simultaneously, it's going to be really good. Like jungle marksman doing the laning, it's going to be giving Huayun a lot of stress here. Lumber needs to help for a little bit. Look at the rotations here. The allocation starts to be different. Like Maishlanui is hiding on the top, while Musashi is taking everything on the top of the map here. First one more time given to the side of One Team Esports. It feels like they have a lot of confidence, you know, getting the first blood. They have a lot of movements designed for this. But after this, what's coming after?
Oh, look at that. It's going to be a 2v2. Musashi procs his ult, but it's going to be a Majin. Majin is going to fall, but it's going to trade 1-to-1. Right now it's going to be Kaiser against Mai Shiranui. Mai does not have the cooldown, so it's going to have to run back. Eyes on the bottom, look at that. Right now it's going to be the golden chain. DRNJ is going to fall because Lianpo was just waiting for him. The ambush coming in from the side.
I always love the ultimate from Musashi. It will be giving you extra seconds. Those seconds, the blood, no matter what kind of, what's the amount of the recovery, will be kind of locked here. So you can finish your kill within that 8 seconds you got. As long as you have it, those blood recovery will be gone. So making sure that those seconds will be kind of treasured by yourself and your teammates as well. That's just what like Chen Feng is doing, right? After Wushan using the ultimate on Mai, like the boosting damage will be soon followed. The Mai started everything up. Like even though the ultimate is winning like Mai so high, but just look at the boosting damage using the ultimate from Mai Shiranui, making sure that what you have to be vanished in the map.
But it was a very interesting pick from With You just to start that whole engage with his flash, right? Like he flashes to behind Musashi, but then it's not going to be available for him to run away.
Watch out for their work here.
Comes back, comes in, and Mai Shiranui thought that it was safe under the turret, but then it was Majin coming in With You, taking one more kill.
I love the idea that how deeply that Zaital is right now, you know, going into the jungle, because like Chen Feng fall down without a flash, without a Mai Shiranui, there's no one guarding this area of the jungles here. So Lomber is a very quick move up to the top, trying to make sure Musashi, after cleaning the wave, can tear down this tier 1. Look at how they're actually like reverting something back to their team. RW has given us a very quick answers and very quick response to what's happening right now.
Look at that, Chen Feng trying to find the angle. He's gonna come in, tosses in the dash, and there's gonna be DRNJ, the one that is going to fall. But right now it's gonna be the blue team trying to go in. My Yin comes in, tries to find the back laner, but it's not going to be enough damage.
still follow with Psyche, but one more time, I think RW still have a very clear route when it comes to how to retreat back. I think the pulling back, the first ability and the 2 seconds skill from Mai is really important, but they're somehow missing some damage here. I think they're pulling back 3 enemies in one roll, but I think GSI cannot simply find a very good place to deal damage, and Sanking one in like a little bit time later after like Mai is done with everything.
And GSI did not have Imperial Order anymore. Oh, look at that 1 against 2 is going to be Musashi Miyamoto, the one that's going to be ambushed on his own blue buff jungle.
Yeah, it's looking quite good because it's gradually developing towards the mid game, but still you can still think that One Team Esports is taking a lot of advantages. It's taking a lot of control here. I think Mai performed really well. Like with you in this one, you can see the aggression. You can see how many threats is actually given to Wushan and to Huayun, not to mention Chen Feng.
Let's wait and see what's going on. Look at that. He's going to come in with the flash. He's going to find 2. It's going to be Lady Sun, the one that has an amazing area. Machina Nui is going to claim that kill. Lien Po comes in with the ulti, but he's not going to find anyone else. Now he's going to become the target. He's going to become the shield as well. And he's going to call it a 1-to-1 trade for these 2 teams.
Yeah, after this, it's a 1-1 trade, but still you can see the longevity actually helped GSI to survive a few seconds more, but like it's still determined on getting this kill for the team. So yeah, he used his flash to deck and finish the kill, even though he went down for this. But I think still using a Lianpo to exchange for a GSI with marksman in this kind of composition, it's so worthy trade.
That is a good trade right now. It's going to be Side trying to clean in the wave.
I think Xiaoyan is so good. Like Xiaoyan is not giving you that advantages that easily. You know, you want to take control, you have to receive like a lot of combos. The Shadows Earth will be everywhere. He's trying to initiate at every single time he got.
Right now, we can see already moving in to the game that there's still not a big advantage for no team in terms of gold, right? Like that is completely different to what we saw in the previous game. In the previous game, we saw an advantage starting to build from minute 4, and right now we're already making it all the way until the 9 minutes mark, and still no one has a clear gold difference.
But something is secretly, you know, farming up here. Look at Musashi. I think the 4 members from RW is simply buying Musashi more time to do the things, you know, he really wanted to do. For example, for how to actually gain the golds to buy more items he needs. Like Musashi is farming up very, very quickly, even though like RW is still, there's a lot of members here. Look at Musashi is, they're surrounding with this waves, letting Musashi make sure that there's nobody possibly can get through this kind of supervision here in the river. Musashi one more time getting Tyrant for the team of RW.
On the other side, GSI as well, just farming really well. He's got Spark Forge Dagger and Doomsday Loud Imperial Order is going to make contact, forcing Xiaoyan to run away. Now Xiaoyan is going to have to go back to the fountain, and this mid lane turret is going to be under a lot of pressure. One more time, GSI.
We're gonna have a very good position.
They know what they want, right? Like, look at that. Ooh, he's gonna come in, he's going to find the wall. Almost like he's just gonna be ganked over there by 3 members of RW.
So far, so good. I love those styles. I love the playing style of like One Team Esports.
The Overlord and Tyrant have been
Liliana has a very good control. I would say that it's Psyche and With You right now, the ones that are allowing the vision control for one team, and that's the reason why they haven't been ambushed a lot, right? Like because they have always eyes on where this Musashi is. As long as they know where Wushuang is, like they're not going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. They're always trying to take the
yeah, it's already on air. He's gonna use his second ability plus the flash to run out. He's still got ability. Imperial Order comes in and it's going to be a contact, but he's going to find the Lianpo that he's gonna proc his ulti to run away. He's still alive, and now it's gonna be Jinan, the one that's gonna be locked down by Musashi Miyamoto.
I think initially everything is so good. I think Maid wanted to find some answers here in the backline, but still you're looking for a full HP Musashi here with the ultimate ready for you. Everything is so close, but Lady Swing coming from behind, getting one member down. This is really unexpected, but still he was surrounded by 3 people at the very back. So one team resulted into 1 member trade, but still like RW is the only team who's winning at all after this team fight. I think initially Liliana has his vision of 2 members like Musashi and Mai Shiranui is both taken care by the Psyche, but after all, as the time goes by, I think Liliana finds it very difficult trying to like stall these 2 guys anymore, and these like assassins just appear, you know, circling around, finding other directions, joining the upfront battlefield.
You know, and this is the problem that we saw from this composition during the BP, right? Like does not have a lot of sources of real high damage. And the problem with having that Kaiser option is that Kaiser is extremely tanky, and he can suck in a lot of damage, but he's gonna have to take on 1v1 battles instead of taking a 1v4s.
Oh, Psyche will be spotted, and these are 4 members from RW.
No way to run for Psyche right over there. Sadly for him, he's going to go back to base. He's gonna go back to the fountains.
But Mai is trading things with RW. There's 2 waves on the bottom. I think RW have to send someone going back to tier 2, or otherwise those minions, those waves are going to take down tier 2 that easily. Alright, exchanging completely acceptable. I think Psyche is okay with this.
Oh, look at that. One more time. Now it's going to be Mayin, the one that is going to be taking a 1v1 against Wushuan's Musashi.
But if Psyche and Mai is not here...
The flash comes in, and right now it's going to be Lianpo, the one that's going to come in, and it's going to take 2 in air. Right now it's going to be Musashi with the follow-in damage. It's going to take 1, and then sadly for them it's going to be Jiezai.
I think the vision before this is really good. Like even though Senki went down for this, but you're exchanging towers with RW. But because you have an idea that Mai is not there, and Psyche is still waiting for resurrection, so which means that you will be only having 3 members available for this upcoming team fight. And RW, they're not there for the tier 1 on the bottom, which means that they will be standing around near this river. If you actually engage in the team fights, it will be definitely, obviously, a 5 versus 3. You'll be completely outnumbered. Not a very smart choice at this very second.
I love the way that Xiaoyan just was completely decisive in this, right? With the ulti plus the flash, he is the one that forges the longevity. He's the one that forces the second ability for Frontier and Jie. So when Musashi comes in, he's already having green light to take everyone down.
Yeah, this is going to be the moment where finally a lot of things happens here on the side of RW. They're turning this entire thing over by granting more gold lead into their side. Look at the game boards. Once again, the Shadowers is ready for a lot of things to happen. There goes DNJ one more time, and Lady Chen is so safe at the very back, taking down turrets and picking up those kills for the team of Jinan RW one more time. The high ground tower has been fallen. I think RW is ready to end this.
They want to take this one. Is 5 members against 3. Right now it's going to be Ming, the one that's going to try his very best to try to clean the way. But RW does not want even to fight because their target is going to be the Crystal, and their target it was to take a second victory, and that's what they're going home with. 2-0 advantage for Jinan RW.
But you know what? I think for this one, like Game 2, actually One Team Esports performed so much better than Game 1. You can say they are holding it up to there till the minute of 10 minutes mark. I think before I started in that mid, it's looked really good for me. I think the team participation, the decisions, the exchanging for things and resources are so good. You know, I think there's not much goal difference before.
No.
That last 2 team fights happened.
Of course, like right before the 10 minutes mark, everything is just extremely balanced for the 2 of them. None of them is making mistakes. All of them are just completely understanding. But that is the difference. That is the difference between just coming in and doing this once a year and doing this on a daily basis, week in, week out, as Jinan RW has been doing it. They know that the only thing that they need is just that one opening. And the moment that they see the crack, they just need to come in and push. And then One Team Esports, they did really well, but there's nothing you can do when it comes down to that mid lane fight, and then you have no abilities to just to let that DRNG survive.
And you can never possibly imagine how much things that RW can let go just to make sure they can fight something back. They're giving the turrets, two turrets, especially on the bottom, they're leaving it there, giving it to yourself. But they're making sure that the Psyche, who can give a lot of stress to the backlines, is gone. They're making sure that the Mei, who can always be a backline threader, that is gone. So making sure that 5 members are always going to be there, ready for 3 members remaining from the side of One Team Esports. And that will be the second they're ready for start everything in the mid lane around their tier 1 turrets. And I think they're waiting for the second because they're like checking out with Wushang all the time.
Yes,
are you ready for this? Is the items ready? Is the gold ready? And yeah, the answer is positive, and that will be the second they want to start everything off.
And that's the thing, that there was no answer to whatever that Wushang was doing, because if you want to really stall that Wushang in the jungle, to don't allow him just to farm up that quickly, you need to be a lot more aggressive. You need to do some invasion. You need to try to come in and harass his jungle, but that is always risky. And One Team didn't want to take that risk. They wanted to take it slow and kind of keep things balanced all the time. And they had to pay with Musashi just becoming gigantic by the minute 10.
I mean, for this one, game 2, I wasn't paying too much of attention of Wushang, what's like Musashi doing right there. I was looking at like basically how Huayun and Xiaoying are helping each other a lot. I think this bottom duo are doing extremely good. Not to mention the laning, it went smoothly going against like Jiezai and Lucky. And like starting from the 5 minutes, you can see like Xiaoying is ready for everything. The Shattered Earth is so accurate every single time. And Huayun will be soonly followed, you know, so never given Xiaoying that very lonely moments on the battlefield. I think the boosting damage from Lady Sun will always be there, giving Xiaoying like more driven force into initiations. And yeah, that's like really perfect.
From the KD8, you can start seeing how targeted Jiezai was, right? Like sadly, he was killed 6 times because they knew that he was the opening that they needed. They knew that he held the key to the victory for RW. And it was Musashi, the one that was always just waiting for Jiezai. He did not care about initiating on anyone else. The only thing that he needed was just to wait the right moment when he did not have his second ability, when he did not have Xiaoming giving him the longevity, just to come in from the side and just take Jiezai down. Takes him down 6 times, and then he did not have any items to fight that high ground battle.
Because I wasn't blaming like Jiezai for doing this, for gaining this kind of not like pleasant KDA for this, because someone have to be responsible for the poking, right?
Yeah.
Someone have to go in first, like before everything started. With you is hiding. Like Psyche is nowhere to be seen. So someone needs to be standing up, and that one will be Jiezai responsible trying to do those chipping damage they need.
Yeah, of course. And the opening was found by Xiaoying. RW Xiaoying is going to take the MVP because that lumber was the reason why Jiezai was under so much trouble.
Yeah.
It was not because of Musashi. It was not because of Huayun's Lady Sun. It was Xiaoying's lumber. He always found the right moment just to come in and initiate, always getting him unlocked.
Wow, let's see that launching like for 2 times. Like initially it was the Shattered Earth and will be followed by Wushang's ultimate. Like launching Jiezai for 2 times in one row. No one can survive from this.
He was not on air. He was sent back to sky. Like he was literally just sent to the sky.
Yeah, this kind of initiation is very amazing to see. You can see a lot of times that one target will be only by Jiezai. So yeah, it doesn't really. It's like Jiezai's performance is about the compositions. I think that if like we are switching this Liliana towards a Iggy, like everything might be like better.
Yeah, but the idea, I understand the idea of Liliana, right? Like just to try to find an assassin mates that could put some more pressure on Lady Sun, right? But Iggy, they might want to be saving that Iggy pick to counter something coming in from Jinan RW in the next games. You're right, more poking damage might have been a lot more beneficial than that Liliana pick.
And this is already the second win for RW. They're looking extremely well. And because they're on the red side always, but they're facing this kind of deficit, but still, you know, managed to grant it with a lot of advantages in the real play. And I think the same will be happening for the 3rd game, because one team still will be the team got to pick side.
Well, one team is going to pick for game 3, which is going to be coming with us right after we have a little break. 2-0 advantage for Jinan RW represents the biggest challenge for One Team Esports in this history of this club. Because they need to take 4 more games for them to be able to make it to the next stage. From the way that they've been playing, I don't think that they have been playing bad. But not playing bad is far, far, far from enough if what you want to do is to take a victory and just make the step forward. What do they need to do different?
I was thinking of some way that I think we've been saying this a lot. We want to see that those off-tension games, right? Where you're not doing what you have been prepared a lot. I mean, sometimes you have to surprise your enemies so that they will be like taking at least some time trying to think of what should we do. You cannot simply just giving them ideas of, yeah, they're like this. Okay, let's open our textbook and let's see how in our dictionary how to fight back, because like speaking of how many stories, speaking of how many experiences, speaking of how many weird things that RW have been seeing in their total like career, I think you can never try to compete with this, because the length of your journey, the length of your time to become a professional player will be completely different. So you can never try to take down RW in a quite normal way.
That is true, and I believe that even though the players change, right, with times, but there's some kind of a DNA that stays in the club, and that DNA stays in the club and is just transported from one generation of players to the next one. And you gotta remember that Jinan RW, they've made it to the finals of KIC.
Yes.
In 2019, we had them in the final against Wuhan eStar Pro, and they had an amazing race all the way until the final that sadly in that year they lost 4-2. That kind of DNA, that winning DNA, that experience, it is transmitted generation after generation. And that might be the one thing that One Team Esports does not have today.
You know, the only member who's still in RW fighting on the battlefield will be Huayun, right? Huayun is there in 2019.
Can you
Huayun
imagine?
is there 2020, 2021, 2022, and he waited to 2023 for the very newborn version of RW to be this competent one more time. I think, yeah, Huayun, I can still remember, like, by the year of 2019, there Huayun is so young, and he is supposed to be, you know, the most talented, the younger version, but still you can see the hair goes longer, he got taller, but still wearing glasses, but those mechanisms, those skills are still there.
And it's going to be really nice for us to just to have that mix between experienced players and the young new generations kind of coming in together. And I can imagine that Xiaoying and Changfeng, Wushuan, Zishuan are just looking at Huayun just like, Uncle Huayun, tell us the stories about the golden times.
Yeah, just imagine like it's gonna be a totally different picture. Remember Zhu Jie, right? With Jinan, with a lot of different like teammates, they're all gone. They're like maybe changing into different jobs in their own career. Maybe like they're going from the back, like becoming a coach the other teams. But Huayun will be still the one fighting on the battlefield, and I think he's found a perfect match with his current teammates.
The way that he's performing right now and the way that the Jinan RW is performing today makes it a very big problem, a very big question for One Team Esports to try to answer back.
But
let's wait and see what's going to happen. Anything could happen. This is going to be game 3. It's do or die right now.
I love this composition, like from One Team Esports. Garo, very far-reached hero, and Iggy we're talking about, so they're missing those poking abilities, and the poking damage is going to be there. Byron is super aggressive, can do the laning so safely all by himself, even though he's facing Zishuan's Cao Cao. But I'm so fortunate you have to be countered, because Jinan RW is taking the red side, right?
Yes.
So yeah, definitely I think Cao Cao is going to be enjoying his moment with you. It's going to be like giving with you a lot of stress here. But Zai Zai with a Jun while always standing up, you know, trying to give with you some help he really need. And Lucky on the bottom will be using the Prince of Lanling to target Huayun. But I think the zip choice is really well. Like,
I like that zip choice, I like that Zip choice as well, and I do believe that it's not going to be that much of a defensive pick.
Yeah.
I do believe that they might want to join in the battle because besides what Lucky could do with that Prince of Landling, there isn't a lot of risks coming in for Luban number 7. There are no other assassins besides Lucky that could actually put some pressure on Huayun right now. The composition for one team is pretty tanky, and they've got the poking damage, they've got the long reach. But Huayun, as long as he's finding a good position, he might not have any trouble. I can actually see Wu Shuang and Zixuan being a bigger threat for Jieza as Garo than what it could be Lucky to Huayun.
I think only by Prince of Landling it's no problem towards Xiaoying. You know, Xiaoying have it all covered for this. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, there's some lethal damage, you know, missing if like RW, like Huayun needs to be taken out of picture. Yeah. I think there's a lot of poking. There's a very long-ranged heroes, but still, like something is missing. Those very lethal damage, those bursting damage that will be taken and killed as Luban number 7 instantly. These kind of things are missing. Not to mention, I think Zixuan will be having a great time using Cao Cao, chasing for Psyche and Jiezai all the time. Just imagine, as long as they were well developed with those items he need, who can take this Cao Cao away?
I imagine that this is going to be a long one. I do not see this game just finishing in the first 10 minutes. Of that I'm completely sure. So let's wait and see what's going to be in this game 3.
All right, Lucky, very good position here. He's aiming at Athena directly instead of simply just want to take away this red.
Xiaoying comes in. And now they're gonna try to deal some damage. The prison is going to be wide, and that's going to be first blood for RW.
Yeah, something you're missing. I think like Iggy is not here around, so you can see like the two tanks standing side by side, but missing out those like the wrong range to coconut damage here.
They wanted to be aggressive, and they paid the price for just trying to change the style. If you know that is going to be your last option, your last opportunity, well, right now they're trying their very best.
Oh, you can hardly see the HP bars here. So imagine how many spirits that can be lifted, like if Jedi get this for solo kill for the Team 1, Team Esports. Let's see what happened here. Like Princess Frost actually got here like before Iggy does.
And that's exactly why he's got like a better position, right? Yeah. Like they are allowed just to get the vision coming in from both areas. And that is what takes one Team Esports out of surprise. Tough times for one team.
Lucky has been really participated, you know, very busy here. Like leaving Jiezai alone on the bottom while he's trying to make things happen on the top in the jungle.
That's right. Frozen. Nothing that they can do right now. It's going to be really difficult right now for one Team Esports because the opening is completely different. The advantage for RW is happening extremely early. How different they're going to play this game. Not the same script as we had for game 1 and game 2.
Yeah. They're obviously facing some difficulties here, and yeah, for one team, oh, look at the initiations. The flash is just there ready for Iggy.
Comes in and takes one more kill. We talked about Xiaoying just being a lot more aggressive with that zip, right? And that's literally what he just did.
And the reason the second Xiaoying was like ready for this is because like Psyche has been using this flash like 100 seconds ago. They know that like Psyche is in cooldown with this extra dash, like building in the crit. So yeah, Xiaoying is so confident about using that initiations just directly towards Psyche. There's nowhere to go. Look at this. Athena really tanky. Like even though Nahina has like 0 winning rates when you are using this hero in the support, but in the jungler,
it's a completely different composition. And I love to see Athena in the jungle, right? And it is so refreshing just to see that right now. Athena is the one being harassed by Lucky's Prince of Landling.
Yeah.
And it's not Athena actually doing the harassment.
Leading in the game definitely guaranteed different like, pictures towards this Athena. 3K gold here. versus 1.9 Byron.
And Lucky's position.
Zishan have already got the mid-air. He need half the CD boots he need. I think this one is like RW wanting to start the party. Everything will be falling apart on the side of One Team Esports. Look at Zishan, look at Zishan.
Tyrant has been defeated.
So strong. Take him back, Psyche, send him back to town. But look at Byron's position as well. He's gonna jump in, he's going to find Changfeng. Now it's going to be the double damage coming in, and he's gonna be defeated. It's going to be Tuen, the one that is going to claim that kill.
All right, Jinan using the flash, trying to dark away, but here comes Xiaoying one more time. Like having that ultimate ready for Yarrow every single time. It's the same like the game too. Like initially you're seeing like one team is leading, but at the very last you can still like steal. It will be the part where RW finally shines. Solo Zip wanted to take Zishan back, but unfortunately will be chased up. I think this team fights went on for too long.
It was just trading blows again and again and again. They did not want to retreat. It is just that feeling that as long as you guys are still alive, you still need to try to keep throwing punches. Just keep throwing hands and something's going to happen. Desperation I start feeling over there on the one team side. $1,000 advantage for RW right now.
Huawei goes from the bottom to the top. Since he's already finished his job on the bottom, making sure that Tier 1 has to be gone, and they will be soaking up this kind of pressure here. Iggy is here to help.
I don't know that with you is right over there with that Byron. Gotta be careful. Do not want to engage. They didn't have eyes on Lucky. They were worried about Lucky coming in and then pushing them from behind. Look at how well Cao Cao is just taking control of the wave on the bottom, right? Rotation one more time to mid.
Finally, I think like they're slowing down the pace from RW. RW is not given another try in the initiation of the crowd. In the team fights, they want to wait for the dragon, they wanted to wait for the buffs, making sure that the loop on number 7 can get this red, and this will be the preparation before everything started. They want to make sure the damage is going to be there before they actually want to go for an engage.
They have a priority over there on the bottom lane, right? In some moment, someone from one team is going to have to go and clean the wave, and that might be the cue that they want just to start the overload.
I think for this one, it's kind of composition like Zishan and Bushan, this Cao Cao together with Athena can be so good with the wave push in here. There's no one trying to compete with this.
Yeah, of course.
Like Byron is not that good with the wave control, and not to mention, I think as a support, Lucky cannot simply just put those kind of pressure to this tanks, to this warriors. So yeah, RW can simply just choose an easier way trying to take this win. Just to make sure that the waves will belong to their side, and one team Esports will be separated apart on the bottom side of the map.
Don't really blade immediately, completely purifying that control. That side was really close to take a 1v4 in the mid lane.
There's just too many advantages when it comes to wave pushing here. RW really does not need to rush into the team fights. They're going to be winning on the waves here. Look at Cao Cao, waiting for the wave to come on the bottom, on the top.
So that might be just the key for one team. Keep luring them, trying to make them to engage. With you, we're going to be surrounded, wanting to protect the turret, but it was completely unnecessary. It's a tier 1 turret. At this moment, it doesn't count for anything much.
You know, the waves on the top is going to be a distraction so that like RW can go back for this overlord. Like everything is like this, like RW is taking control of the map, not by engagement, not by team fights, but also by the total control of the wave, by the vision control. Yeah. This is how you actually win, using strategic like designs in this game. Like find out what will be your strength using this type of composition.
Understanding the timings of the game, right? Like just to understand the gaps in between the minion waves for you to understand exactly how to make the split push, how to make control of not only to understand to win in the waves, but taking the resources at the time. Just right over there in between. Look at Cao Cao just so deep in there in the blue side. And the rotation comes into the red side and they want to take that turret down.
And for one team, if they're looking for the safe answer at this, they will be found themselves being cornered, losing a lot of outer turrets, and finally standing only on the high ground tower. If you have a deeper understanding towards your composition, you'd better look for team fights right now. Instead of rushing to the bottom, trying to save up for the lanes, you're going to be losing. It's not your strength. Do not trying to use your weakness, trying to overcome with your opponent's strength. It's not always working like this.
It is completely unnecessary at the moment.
Yeah.
They do not have eyes on Prince of Landlin, so everyone is extremely careful. They do not want to overstep. Just Lucky's presence over there on that side of the river creates so much pressure for Huayun and for Chen Feng. They do not dare to move out of the turret.
Strike again.
Almost 10 minutes mark of the game. I imagine that we're going to keep seeing this for a little bit longer time. But at the same time, they've got to be careful with that Garo. That Garo already has 2 items.
I think one team esports really have to make a decision here. They're simply just waiting for the initiations, but they are the one who's supposed to be more aggressive when it comes to the team fights, right? I think that there's one of their biggest concern will be the Zip, because they are so afraid of using those initiations methods and skills. And if all of the people are getting taken away from Zip, what will happen? Garo is the one falling down.
Oh, but look at that! Amazing comes in from Tun, but it's not going to find anyone else. That's sadly for him, he's just going to sacrifice himself for nothing. As Cao Cao comes back with a double kill. Right now they're going to try to go for the ace, and that's going to be it. They're going to clear out the map with one team esports.
Yeah, like we said, like for this composition, RW have a multi-core composition. Even though Huayun goes down, so what? They still have Wushan and Zixian standing out for the team. I think, just imagine, I think the total damage, like after the whole match, maybe Zixian is dealing more damage than Lupa number 7, because he's like doing those auto attacks all the time. Look at the gold rankings here. Like with no further notice, like Zixian is getting number 1 in the lead and will be followed by Huayun. Those side laners will be such a nightmare towards Psyche, Jiezai, every single members on one team.
Cao Cao has just become one of the strongest top laners, right? Like one of the strongest warriors in these last 4 days, and I am loving that. A vintage hero like him just coming in and just taking the position that he really has. He needs to come back and then just keep ruling over the map.
And for somehow like this, like the numbers of Cao Cao is going like fewer and fewer in the future, because in the newly developed like meta in HOK, we have already renewed a new Cao Cao. This is the very last time you're going to see this old version of Cao Cao being applied in the actual game.
That's gonna be it for OG Cao Cao. So I'm actually really happy that we got to see him for one last time. One last rumble with the Cao Cao man.
The end of this new generation. Let's see. Athena. There's nobody who can possibly take down this Athena at this moment.
Nothing to do about that. It would need to be Jiezai just to keep using all his poking ability and then just focus it on that Athena. But what for? Just to allow Cao Cao just an opening? Just to allow the band number 7 an opening as well? Look at that stun. Wushan can still survive. That's gonna be the one that's gonna come in, flashes and finds Jiezai, but Jiezai is going to move away from him.
Like one team esports tried really hard to find a target, but they spent nearly all of their abilities on Wushan. As we just mentioned, Wushan, with all the items built as the armory items, is really tanky at this very point. If like one team esports wanted to find someone to get their damage all online, I think that one will be Huayun, or otherwise like Xiaoying, right? Zip, to get Zip away up picture so sudden before everything started will be one strategy, but definitely the worst idea will be towards Wushan.
Howling Emblem, what do they want to do?
Yeah,
They're
Cao
going
Cao
to find Cao Cao. He's gonna 4 people. Nothing that Zixian could have done. It's gonna go with black screen for the next 40 seconds.
As long as it's not Wushan, everything is okay.
What are you doing, Lucky? Trying to TP back home right over there in the middle of the road? You need to look both sides, boy. What are you doing?
I think, yeah, at least go inside the bush, you know, be invisible so that the acceleration cannot, the mark will be not activated, and then trying to secretly go back.
Sadly for them, right now it's going to be the pressure on that top turret, and it's not going to be anything that they can do about it.
I think the RW today is giving One Team Esports a different experiences. You know, just imagine that one they have with AG, right? That one, AG is looking for a lot of very aggressive choices. Like AG is having a very huge lines towards Shubi-Chen, giving Shubi-Chen those very core marksmen they need. So even though the results so far is stating on the same side, which like the KPL teams are definitely going to be the winner, wins all the time, but the composition we really use are quite different.
Very different experience, as you just mentioned. That's going to be, it's going to be good for their growth. Just to be able to understand how to face completely different strategies. And that's going to be really good for them. They were able to face TTG in the group stages, and they were able to place AG, and right now this is going to be their third challenge against RW.
I think, gaming experiences with TTG, AG, and RW is some like experience you can never think of for the other teams who doesn't really have the opportunity to play it in KPL.
Not everyone in this world is lucky enough just to come here and then just be able to really clash against the top of the top.
Yes. I think the goal difference is that like RW have been given them as a leading party is already enough. They're ready to initiate, and we are just simply waiting for Zishan and Xiaoyin to give us that kind of surprises. Xiaoyin half the flicker, half the flash he needs.
Jinan waves already coming into the high ground. The 5 members from RW trying to make the rotation, trying to understand exactly what is going to be the game plan. Minions coming in from the bottom. They do not have eyes on Lucky. They need to be extremely careful. Lucky is behind, and now they're going to jump in. Right now, Garus still has a very good position. Look at Jessa. It's going to be Cao Cao, the one that is going to jump in. Zishan is going to send him back home. Double kill for Cao Cao, and the crystal's going to fall. It's going to be game 3 for Jinan RW.
Yeah, Jinan RW have a very clear picture of what to do as the very last team fights. They're not being so rushy like RW. Xiaoyin is standing by Huayun's side all the time, using the skill 2, trying to give those extra shield to move on number 7. And since like Prince of Landing is all around at that very second, they waited and waited till the very second that Prince of Landing make the final move, and the protection is going to be there. The vision is going to be there. So like the Luba number 7 have a very quick response, you know, countering back and taking down Prince of Landing once and for all. And that will be the backline story. Look at the front. Like Zishan is on fire, killing everybody, completely slaughtering every member.
Like he just flashes in and finds Jetsai. He pokes him twice, and then that's it. Completely obliterated, completely just erased from the map. So the way that Cao Cao has been played during this game just tells us exactly what is going to be the trend for this next 3 or 4 days that we still have of tournament, right? Like we're gonna be seeing a lot of Cao Cao just split pushing, building items, getting gold, and then just in the right moment, just using the flash, coming in and finding the backline.
It's very interesting because the last time like Zishan used a Cao Cao also gets a MVP, but that one they're going to be doing those battles with Hero, right? Even though the enemies, the players are different, but still you can see the playing style from Zishan. He played this character really, really well. And if you give that much of a time to Zishan to farm up in the top, I think he will be the one standing out, take care of everything in the late game. Somehow this kind of things that happened for this one reminds me a lot of yesterday we saw from Xinghen, right? You give this man a lot of times, nearly 10 minutes in early and mid game, and he will be standing up, taking everything under control in the late game.
Which is a very big problem for a lot of teams right now, right? Like we start seeing that the method of how to play this Cao Cao is becoming clearer and clearer. So what is going to be the strategy to try to stop that from happening? Like, because it's been really difficult just to take that Cao Cao in a 1v1 fight. So what are you gonna have to do? Like always a Charlotte and an Allen pick just to try to counter that Cao Cao? Is that the only option that you have?
I don't know, the last time that he uses Cao Cao to do the laning is always because that's the opponent like he's facing is using Byron. This works twice. And it's amazing because you can see that the fact he's leading in the laning, he's leading everywhere, and Zixian have a very high team participation, you know. We're seeing Zixian everywhere. Like starting from the 5 minutes, you can see like Zixian is literally standing in the mid. This never happens. Like for the other teams, maybe.
Yeah, normally what they try to do is just to split and push, right? Just to try to let Cao Cao just to push in the minion waves, and that is the main reason why he makes the resources. But in here, it was a completely different thing.
And for RW, I think that they have a lot of things planned, you know, in their brain. Like initially, after laning, we granted it with quite a little lead of the advantages of our golds. And after this, when it comes to mid game, we're going to do the split push. Wushan and Zixian are pushing the waves by like Huayu more time to buy items, and when everything is in line, okay, gathering around, pushing the waves. After the wave is done, how about the engagements? How about the initiations? It's all like runs smoothly as a flow.
If you analyze the damage dealt by Psyche on the one team from one team, like Psyche's poking was really online. He was really doing his job. I don't think that it was a problem from him, but the way that Wushuan played that Athena was the problem. Because Athena took in so much damage. It was like taking 30% of all the damage that the team was receiving, and just being able to still stand there and not actually fall even once, that was just like completely nullifying Psyche's damage with that E.
You know, sometimes for this kind of well-developed Cao Cao, I think it doesn't really need some initiation, doesn't really need some CCs.
Yeah.
You just go in and start to deal damage, and that's it. You just does not need really, you know, your teammate trying to stand out, launching up or stun or frozen someone there.
Yeah.
You just go in.
It's the most ghetto way to just start in. Like you just look at the target and you just walk, not even run. You just walk towards the target. You know what? I am him and I am here. So take it down. Love that. Love that. It was a really nice game to watch. I love the way that One Team Esports took the first 1 minute of the match, because they said, you know what, like if we don't make something different, we might just lose the same as always. So they tried to come in and they tried to do that early invasion into the red buff. It didn't work out for them, and that put them against the ropes.
Yeah, I think invasion requires a lot of conditions, you know, to be a successful strategy here. You need at least 2 lanes of the priority so that you will be there like way sooner than your opponent did. You need to have a very clear target when it comes to, is it for the guy? Like, is it for Wushan? Is it for the jungler? Or otherwise, are you going there for the buffs? You have to set your goals really, really clearly. And yeah, and that's it. I think something is missing.
And I feel like we rarely see
conditions is not there.
Invasion between KPL teams that come in and they want to go for the buff. A lot of times, like the early invasion, they come in and they want to go for the small jungle, right? They want to go for the small jungle monsters instead of trying to go and just try to take care of the buff or trying to go and take care of the kill. Sometimes when you just start just chipping in, taking a little bit of those jungle monsters experience, take a little bit of the gold, it gets piling and piling and piling into a very big bag.
And the MVP, of course, Zixian, one more time using a Cao Cao, being so invincible all the time.
I love this one. I'm gonna completely agree on this. Wushuan was important, Huayun was important, the way that Xiaoying played in here was really good as well, but Zixian was at a completely different dimension to everyone else.
I see some highlights here. Yeah, just literally walking there.
Nothing that other people could have done. Soaking in the damage, he knows that he's tanky and he knows that he has the advantage. Sadly for one team, they came into this one expecting to take the first blood, but they gave a 3-0 advantage, a very big advantage for RW.
Yeah, look at this.
Boom, zip roll, initiation.
Like both Athena and like Zixian, this Cao Cao is not that full in HP, but they still have the confidence, you know, with zips to help turn everything over. Look at this entrance.
But we have to be careful with something, because a piece of information, that, at least from my from my expectations, I have very high standards and expectations towards these KPL teams, right? I don't think that Xiaoying's Zip was at the level of the other supports from KPL. I think that his skills compared to other ones kind of like fall down to a different level.
He chose a easier way for this one.
Yeah.
You know, just like Min, just like Little Loot, standing beside your marksman, and that's it. I mean, yeah, because I think the actual stress that their opponents are given to Xiaoying is not enough. Trying to force Xiaoying into different thinkings, into you acting variously. And yeah, I think only stick into this protective, defensive way
So he
will
wasn't
be okay.
Maybe his performance was not that good because he was not forced to try to show something, right? Like he only just needed to keep literally just stay there, protect, and then just be ready just in case that they needed to roll. They never had to roll, so that's probably one of the reasons why I have that feeling. Maybe I might be wrong. Maybe he is one of at the same level as everyone else. But well, we will not have another chance to see him on that Zip, but we're gonna have a whole chance just to see everyone from RW trying to take that next victory that's going to seal their ticket into the next round right after this break.
Red team, godlike. Red team has slain an enemy. Red team, unstoppable. Red team has slain an enemy. Red team has slain an enemy. Blue team has slain an enemy. Red 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 team rampage. Blue team has slain an enemy. Red team has slain an enemy. Red team has slain an enemy. Red team has slain an enemy.
rising up to become someone. Taking it all on my own. What a sweet victory. Taking all of my control. Awaken something deep in me.
Like flames, burning inside. Take a hold of pursuit of the prize of a toll. No way to survive. All that's fire, just lock it aside. When this is the time, enter the ring. All those mental chemicals doing their thing. I got flashes of battles inside of my dreams. I was made for this moment. At least now it seems like it's time to come face to face with your fear. Been battling reasons for all of the years, and I learned how to fight them with style and grace no one's ever encountered. You say it's amazing. I'ma come out swinging when they open the gate. Go ahead, call passion, I'm calling it rage. I'm taking what's mine like I already own it. Watch but don't blink, going here to the moment. When this is the time, enter the ring. All those mental chemicals doing their thing. I got flashes of battles inside of my dreams. I was made for this moment. At least now I see the
moment. The sky rained down. Here's to the madness that's all around. So tell them who you are, you are, you are. You are, you are. Here's to the moment. The sky rained down. Here's to the
One Team Esports, 0-3 deficit right now. This might be their last game in KIC 2023. They need to take the victory. Without a W right now, it's gonna be Jinan RW sealing the deal and then just moving forward against Chongqing Wolves. If I would be their coach, I would just go all in, completely all in. Just take everything that you have.
Under this kind of condition, under the restriction of this 1+4 format, I think it's quite hard for you to go all in for this because, yeah, definitely the choices are not going to be sufficient for you to choose from. And but you know, you can always look at one thing, you know, from the other angle, because I think for the wild card teams, their journey started way early than a lot of KPL teams from the group stages. They have been fought a lot of wonderful team fights in the qualifiers and in the group stages. You're missing a lot from One Team's esports performances because they have a very tightened up opponent called Malaysia Tigers, and they have been facing each other for a lot of different occasions. I think their battle started early on in the January, maybe February 2023, and they'll be facing each other for a lot of times in different type of the tournaments. They are in the Asian Games, they are in different type of the tournaments, and it's always there, you know, these two teams fighting with each other. And yeah, it's such a coincidence for them to be divided into the same group in Group D together with Guangzhou GDG. Right, that result draw is really amazing. So yeah, the both teams have a lot of hopes. I mean, for a lot of wild card teams, their largest goal might be going into the knockout stage. That's why I said that before, after everything happened, I think their main goal has already been fulfilled by getting into this very last spot from Group D into the knockouts to make it so far to Shenzhen. And that one they have with Malaysia Tigers, it's so tied up. Every single time they face each other, it's going to be a tie, and they actually resulted into a tiebreaker as the very last battle for that day, Group D, the very last day in group stages. So yeah, I think a lot of amazing things are there for them to remember, to trying to revise back, trying to look back, and literally no regrets here.
I love the mentality, right?
Yes.
Because if you see it that way, every single game today is already a victory, regardless of the result.
Yeah,
being able to be standing in this stage in front of this crowd, such an amazing tournament experience that they're getting just to close this amazing 2023, right? Like, it's been a very busy 2023 for them in so many different competitions, as you just explained.
Yeah.
So what a better Christmas present for them, being here on the 25th of December and then just being able to take that, all the experience that they could accumulate. Hopefully we'll be able to see a different result for One Team Esports, and hopefully we can make it to Game 5.
And for One Team Esports, such a great news. Finally, Slims is going to be available to the other side. They're at the blue side one more time, and RW is giving this Slims out for Jieza to play, but also, you know, banning this Charlotte away. You can see from the Game 3 or Game 4, every hero became so valuable. You can understand every single choices when it comes to bans here, because a lot of resources are really hard to get in the later rounds here. And Little Loot, Alien, Musashi, and Slims. I love the idea that you're using Slims together with Little Loot going after with Mystery and Jinan choices. Something might be really wild on the bottom side, and Chenfeng wanted to stop everything. Chenfeng wanted to go off work. They wanted to get prepared.
Aman wants to go back to the hotel so he can keep practicing.
Towards Chongqing Wolves.
That Shangguan pick is going to be a really nice one. Ooh, Mulan. Yes, sir. Let's go with that one. I love Mulan. Such a nice and mobile hero, which is actually a very difficult hero to play with as well. Now, let's try to analyze a little bit the decisions here in the BP. Why do you think that Jinan RW is allowing the Slims pick?
You have to let something out, right?
Yeah.
Because they have a lot of deep understanding of what will be the hero pools for with you. So with you are using Charlotte quite often in the group stages. He's been using Charlotte the one before, so definitely. But under the condition that they are AoV players, not so familiar with those HOK warriors, why not taking this maybe one choice from with you and given this Alien, very difficult one for with you to do. But since Alien came from AoV, so I think the master, the familiarity will be it.
I like the composition for One Team Esports. This might be the one game where they've got a very good combo to really work around GSI. Like right now, because in this situation, it's going to be Tsai and GSI, the ones that they're going to have to take. Just wait and see how the game develops. In the moment that one of them is going to be targeted, the other one's going to have to take all the resources. So having that double core allows you a lot more options.
Always love the idea of GSM playing with the Slims. It's just like Zuka with Bushan in the wild card qualifiers. You're seeing GSM with a picture of Slims on the back being the MVP all the time, nearly 10 times. So it's a very common thing, you know, to see GSM finally got an MVP one more time. And this will be the game 4 between the two teams, and obviously it's going to be the match point to the side of RW, who has been standing on the red side for a long time. Starting from the very beginning, and let's see what's going to be the game for these two teams.
Let's wait and see. This is going to be a battle of live or die. That's going to be what's going to look like. It's going to mean for One Team Esports. It could be their last game here in this KIC. Let's see what they're going to do and what they're going to offer. It's going to be tough for Slims at the beginning of in level 1, right? Like level 1 is going to be not an easy one for Slims, allowing Huayun a lot more priority.
like Thierry is so good with the laning, like with the skill one, he can clean away that fast, and with the skill two, he can always get a longer reach than Slims. And initially, like Slims have a very low attack speed, so you have to gather around, you have to accumulate a lot of gold, so that you will be like granted to be more aggressive during laning. With Huayuan, with Thierry, something happened on the top where Zichen is only a level 2, have to go back because after gaining to level 4, having the ultimate will be the second where Mulan finally gets to switch mode.
We know exactly what Mulan can do. What I don't know is how familiar it's going to be with you trying to make that laning against this kind of hero. Because Mulan is not going to be a hero that is going to just go and just face you and then just play that 1v1 just throwing hands with you and then just try to check who's going to punch harder. No, Mulan is going to be ambushing you. It's going to be waiting in the bush and then it's going to come in with the combo, and it just might be difficult for with you to survive in there.
Yeah. It's a very obvious for Zichen trying to pick this Mulan pick as to he will be having this AoE damage, right, with the blade sword, with the heavy blade sword. So yeah, I think Zichen can, we have a lot of confidence on Zichen. Somehow, like it's quite similar for a Mulan player and a Cao Cao player. You have those warrior, like a DNA inside of you.
Yes.
Look at this, knocking back, getting for level 4 at this very moment. I think with you have to do the ultimate, but still look at who's there to follow.
It's going to be a first blood for RW. Great movement from Chenfeng, knowing that to come in the last moment. With you was just holding to his ulti just for such a long time, just waiting for the right moment to run away. And Chenfeng knew that he didn't have to show in early.
I mean, with you, it's not expecting to see like Chenfeng being here so soon in the beginning, and they're just enjoying 1v1 time. There's someone stepping in, you know, giving you away, like gets a first blood for this one. Is it the very first time for RW to have a first blood? Oh no, they got it in game 3, where like one team is doing the invasion to their side.
In game 3, in game 3 they did have the first blood as well. Let's look at the replay one more time. Comes in, gets the right angle, and then right over there, boom, knocked back multiple times.
Look how quickly that Mulan is using the light sword, you know, to get the silence out. Because you need the speed of your fingers to press that out attack, including like in between intervals, using those like different stashes in the first ability. It's really, really hard to do this, but I think we have a lot of things, like KIC2023 performed really well using this Mulan, right? So it's Zichen.
Let's wait and see what's going to happen. It might be a Mulan. It might be a Mulan competition maybe tomorrow. That's what we could see. And this might be just the warm-up match for Zichen. Third hand comes in, connects with Slims. There's no damage coming in from Chenfeng.
Jinan is good at like item choices. Like you already have the speed and stuff at the very first choice. Basically, if you're having this Changwan as the assassin for the team, you're looking for those explosive, damaging items. But because of the little loot, I think Chenfeng is ready to finish everything like ahead of like, but before it reached for late game or mid game. So Venomous stuff will be strictly needed.
No, and just the choice of Venomous stuff just allows Thierry just to focus on the damage, right? It's not going to be burst damage coming in from Chenfeng, but it's going to allow him to pair better with his teammates.
All right, let's see with the red in hand. I think Jedi is having a great time here. The most difficult phase has already been passed away, where like Thierry can pose those threats towards Jedi. Jedi have to make like faster rotations after they're done with the bottom lane laning. They have to make sure that the Slims can be joining into the team fights in the mid.
Look at that, Dun's going to come in from behind. He's going to have eyes on Easy. He's going to force Psyche to run around, and the turret is the one taking most of the damage in this attack. The third hand, one more time. Thierry has a great angle. Resurrection is going to bring Xiaoyan back into the battlefield, and it's going to be Little Lut, the one that's going to fall first.
Look who's coming here. Musashi is trying to select a target, but facing with a full HP Terry dealing damage all the time. I think it's a quite good team fight from the side of RW because they're so confident with the overall damage they have in this one. I mean, Shangwan is there, the explosive damage and the venomous codes they need, you know, trying to restrict the blood recovery is there. So they're so confident, like Huang Yuan stays safety and like ever. But it's a very good thing for Xiaoying. He's using the Sage Sentry, you know, using the double life for himself instead of saving it for Terry.
He wants to stay in the battle. A man just said, you know what, like I really like this kind of fights. I would love to share with you guys, but maybe on another different day.
I think, yeah, Musashi is making such an entrance here. I think, yeah, the minute like Musashi gets to the point is really good, but it will be all under some kind of condition here, which means that like Huang Yin needs to be at least getting half of the HP away.
Yes. Huang Yin needs to be just taken out a little bit. He needs his HP bar needs to be chipped down a little bit more before anything can be of damage. It is just a very big problem. Like Sai is gonna have to wait for a better opportunity for him to really wait and come in. The problem here is the fact that Psyche was just ganked in by Wushuan Stun very early. And that is the problem because it forces Psyche just to drop back and to use his ultimate as a way to escape, not actually as a way to initiate.
Yes. I think before the skirmish happened in the bottom lane, everything seems quite balanced out. But after, like Zai Zai, Jie Zai, and Lucky was getting defeated here after this, I think RW will be starting to grant them with a lot of leading here. But even though nothing happened with you and Zishan after that first blood, but you can see some of the like gold leading here is already happening. Zishan have nearly 3.6k gold versus with you with only 2.7k gold.
It is a very big problem right now. I do believe that one team needs to push back and try to protect a little bit of their resources, which is going to be really, really difficult since the turrets have already started falling. They do not have the ability to fight and counter right now whatever that RW wants to do. So just coming back and trying to take control of their jungle resources and trying to push it a little bit later. Trying to keep alive that little hope, that little light that they have, that little fire. Just try to nurture that and do not let it just be completely taken out.
Yeah, being poured away that soon. I think, yeah, it's such a good news for one team finally having Jid as most signature hero ever, like the Slims. He'd been practicing this for a long time, and even back to when the time he was playing AOV games, right, tournaments, he is so good with the Slims. So yeah, I think something needed to be done by the side of One Team Esports. So like instead of getting hit all the time, instead of like constantly passively just engaging, like following the step by RW, how about start something, you know, on your own, find some opportunities in either lanes. You're losing anyway with this 1v1. How about do a completely like 5-0, right? Formation, trying to make something happen, get rid of those ladies on the top, get rid of the blues in the jungles, maybe looking for more things to happen on the bottom, helping Slims a little bit.
They need to try to come up with something, and I'm certain that when they were practicing for this game, when they were preparing for this game, they knew that they were going to be put in this position multiple times. This is not a surprise for them, just to be put on their back heel and then just to be put in a more passive corner. What did they practice during this? What is going to be their strategy? I don't think that they can just take this in a more passive way. They need to really get back to it.
And you know, more than that, as we previously just talked about, you can never have a win over RW if you are doing according to what RW is letting you to do.
True.
You have to bounce back with the quite fresh or new ways that RW is finding. Oh, what a strange move here. What about the next move? How are we going to be countering with this situation? I think One Team Esports is looking for more safety rather than these aggression, right? I think the one you said is perfectly true, that they are not doing bad, but they're looking for those safety choices too much. So if you are competing yourself with the storage on your own like hero pools, on your own hero like gaming strategies, you have no wins here. RW has been here since 2019, right? They are in the finals in the 2019 KIC, and I think that we still have that final in Shenzhen in 2019 KIC, right? So it's wow, miracle things, a lot of memories here. But still, I think if we were to give like one team esports some kind of suggestions, it will be you have to think outside the box.
Yes, you need to start thinking outside the box. Right now, as the numbers are saying to us right now, it's the fact that Slims is being targeted a little bit more, and Zaizai is the one that has a little bit more of a healthier position right now in this composition. So they just build around Zaizai. They just build around Zaizai. Let's just see what that Musashi can do. Let's try to build around that and give him a little bit more items, a little bit more time, and let's hope to wait to see for the RW mistake.
And the match has been paused due to a network connection issue. On-site troubleshooting is in the progress, so please stay tuned for the more updates, and our colleagues are trying their best to solve these problems. I believe that we're going to be back into the game very, very soon. And, because we have this time granting us with further discussion about this Game 4, because it's gradually approaching maybe towards the very end. We all know that the match point, and the leading party will be RW, right? So I think the winning percentage after the skirmish might be leaning towards a 30 versus 70. I'm so sorry to say this.
No, it is not looking good for one team, but it is esports. Anything could happen in any moment. As long as your crystal is still standing in there in all MOBA games, you still have an opportunity just to turn things around. So do not just lose your faith, do not lose your courage. Just try to stay composed and try to build all together. You mentioned a very simple strategy, just make a 5-0 rotation. Just stay all together and then you start things right now. Just try to just make a compact, solid block that would not allow RW an opportunity just to push through.
Because simple 1v1 laning is not that easily, cannot that easily be reverted back. It's a game all comes to how many gold you can actually have. So at this very stand, if you are facing nearly 1,000 gold deficit going against the one you're doing laning with, you're losing always. I mean, those 1v1, there's no way for you to fight back. We know some mechanisms are there trying to counter back. For example, we use Mulan to fight with Guan Yu all the time. But if you give Guan Yu that much of the gold lead, maybe still Guan Yu have a winning percentage going against Mulan. It's more like this. You're competing with the gold earned from you instead of simply just trying to prepare, trying to make comparison with the two heroes that you're actually using.
Let's wait and see what's going to happen. In terms of the mid lane, Chen Feng is just being such a very big menace for the back lane of one team. That is actually the one thing, the one reason why we're having such a big trouble. Just trying to find a way how to get Chen Feng away. Psyche's not having the best game right now, so he's going to have to try his really best just to come back and just to really get in the game one more time.
I think it's going to be a stressful time for one team trying to fight back, but still, I think that they have something in their mind, because the one they have in the wildcard qualifier, it's not that they're always leading. They have some setbacks, they have some down here moments, but still, they find some very good team fights trying to turn things back. The one they have with the Malaysia Tigers, that's extremely intensive. We never know who's going to be the winner, till the very last moment. So they still have a lot of potential to do things, to turn things over, and I think they only need one win to finally get some ideas at what to do, trying to focus on those KPL teams. You never compete with Falcon just up front using the very traditional way, very traditional strategies. Think something else. Think something out of box. Maybe you'll be finding your chemistry going back to the game as well.
We are experiencing some technical difficulties right now. We're just in the process of troubleshooting and then just getting back to you with the rest of the game. So just stay with us, stay online. We're gonna keep it over here, just keeping you company. It's nothing, no one's gonna be running away.
But, so, if even if like One Team Esports gets this game, just imagine how many heroes that RW actually have like remaining in their hero tank. I think, yeah, all the utility mages are there for Chinfeng to choose, and not to mention Liliana is still there available, right?
Yes.
If you want to ban away Liliana, how about the other assassins? We should still have one more Jin to use. Like Jin is available, and even though they have used Zip, but Dacha will be followed up. So a lot of like remaining choices are there for RW, and let's go back to the game. We are alive. We're alive one more time, and that goes down to 2-2 on the bottom, nearly almost like hopeless on the bottom for Jinan.
Sadly, Musashi is gonna get back online just to see his screen go black one more time, and it's gonna be sent back to the fountain.
Has destroyed a tower.
Quite a stressful moment here. I think this is so far the biggest leading situation, the biggest like gold lead favoring the side of RW, because it's only like before 6 minutes. They have already gained this much of the gold lead.
It is by now the very first game that has been one-sided since the beginning of the game. All the other ones were actually pretty balanced, but this one right over here is just looking completely red for Rogue Warriors.
Completely hopeless at this very moment. Just imagine how Jinan is feeling right now.
Oh, the Flying Spear comes in with the flash. It's going to be Mulan, the one that is going to start everything. Now look at Chenfeng going all the way down, finds the target, and he's going to take one more kill. Immune comes in, it's going to be the Death Bloom comes in, it's going to be double kill, and this might be it. This might be the last push that they need. Psyche 10 seconds to come back. That turret is going to be very difficult for him to protect.
This is another very classical like MVP performance of Zichen, using the flash, using the Happy Blade, and actually started everything off with 4 member spin launched up into the air. Just imagine what will be the opportunities you need to find inside that very second so that you can make this miraculous thing happen. It's, yeah, I think like Mulan will normally trying to use the flash, you know, with the first ability, trying to like finish those kills, finish those battlefields. But still, you can never imagine you can use Mulan like this, trying to initiate.
Wow. Just great performance by Jinan right now. He's just taking full control of the map, right? Like he had a very good performance with that Cao Cao, and right now just taking this Mulan pick, allowing him to keep showing, keep demonstrating the level of this top laner.
Like in easier words, I think if Zichen can do this one more time, it will be possible for RW trying to form up a like winning team fight even without serious performances.
Look at that, one more time, Mulan is going to come in, now it's going to be caged down, he's going to try to use the Blooming Blade to try to survive, he's going to be able to do that. The turret falls, and right now it's going to be RW going to be put on the run.
This is the very first beginning of RW in the lower brackets. This is only the beginning of round 1 for them. They're definitely looking at rounds 2 tomorrow, facing Chongqing Wolves in the very first BO7s for tomorrow. So yeah, I think RW is not ready to, you know, go back home. They definitely want to stay in Shenzhen longer than we expected. So yeah, I think for today they're using up those 4 games, like in total at this very point, trying to like gain themselves, trying to get their energy moving here, get ready maybe for tomorrow. And since they're doing all the things they need to finally give a final punch into the crystal here.
Look at that, Howled Emblem comes in, they're going to jump in, Jessa is going to flash away, but it's going to be Psyche the one that's going to fall right now. Jessa is still around, still poking, dealing so much damage for Mushuan, but he's extremely tanky. He might fall, but the resurrection is going to bring him back. Look at that, Musashi is going to fall, the minions are coming in. This is going to be it. The 4th game is going to be for Jinan RW. Rogue Warriors take the victory, and they're moving forward in the bracket.
They're moving forward towards next station, rounds 2 in the lower brackets. I believe they are fully ready, all fired up, especially for Zichen for the very last 2 games. They still hold it tightly. They have a complete winning, a complete dominance, like going against One Team Esports, just like what AD did towards One Team Esports. And something, you know, we've been talking about this, like One Team Esports, the only goal I think is looking for at least 1 win towards those KPL teams, even though they failed. but still, they're doing this like better and better as the time goes by. You can see game 1 against AG, they literally have nothing, no room trying to fight back. But for this, the early 2 games, especially for game 2, they're holding it really, really well. There is the progress, there is the growth we're seeing from them, and definitely more time will be granted for One Team Esports to make a lot of efforts, be hardworking, be like optimistic towards your future, and we're gonna see you one more time. I strongly believe next year, 2024 KIC, we're gonna say welcome back to the team One Team Esports.
Sadly for them, this is gonna be the end of the road. They won't be able to continue with us. And let's just put our hands together just to clap for them one last time, right? Like they come in just to say goodbye to the audience. They've been doing a great performance. We know that everyone here in the arena is going to really wish them an amazing 2024. One Team Esports will wait for you here in KIC 2024.
Even if they are falling down for this one, but still, I think they proved themselves like so solidly to be the best one out of all the wildcard team, wildcard qualifiers, and that's the step they're taking. First step already accomplished. How about the second one? See you in the year 2024.
Very well done. It was a great performance from Jinan RW that they come in, they seal the deal real quickly, 4-0. They do not want to push it a little bit longer because they have their eyes on what's going to be their next target. It's going to be that battle against Chongqing Wolves.
I mean, it's so surprising to say that because you never expect to see Chongqing Wolves in the lower bracket, though. I mean, they're supposed to be that one going into the December 27th battle, right?
Yep.
That upper bracket finals, but AG is the one standing up there facing Nanjing Hero, but it's all destiny. Somehow you have to defeat every single enemy you got to be the final champion. I think Chongqing Wolves have so much things stored in their mentality or in their like banks here. They have so many like experiences when it comes to how to really suffocate, how to really like go through those setbacks. I believe they have the potential, they have the ability they need to bounce back for tomorrow.
We talked about that club DNA, right? And the Chongqing Wolves have been around with us for so many years, and they've been part of so many trophies. They've been part of so many finals. They've been put in a lot of different positions for so many times that being in the lower bracket for them is not a big challenge.
Yes.
I don't believe that they're right now just psychologically just taking this as a catastrophe. Not yet. For them, it's just a little setback in what still the goal is, and the goal has not changed, which is going to be to go there and take the trophy.
And I think, RW is quite good for RW to have this kind of dirty, even though they lost to Nanjing Hero, but doesn't really matter. They have time to recover. They have this one trying to test out whether they can perform differently using different timing strategies, you know. They still have like this kind of experiences to get themselves like actual like insight in this stages, getting warmed up for tomorrow. And for today, you're gonna see the mentality, the tension are all gone. I mean, the tension they have going against Nanjing Hero, this time today, the dominance here, the clear strategy is here. Those allocation of the resources are so perfect. Those team combos, those synergies, like within that this 5 members sticking around, it's so good. I have no worries for RW to be a very good contestant towards Chongqing Wolves tomorrow.
Even though the opponents are going to be different, right? But as long as you come out here with the same mentality, with the same strat, with the same composure as you showed today, I'm certain that they're going to have a very big result. And that result might be just another 7 games. Maybe we're going to make it to 7 games. I believe that starting from right now, the level of all the teams is just going to be so close to each other that 7 games is going to start becoming the norm.
It's already. It's already
is.
like we have like 3 consecutive like ultimate battles, right? From 2 days ago till yesterday, this first BO7s. Like even though yesterday we didn't have the ultimate battle with Nanjing Hero versus Suzhou KSG, but it's a very close one.
Oh, it was very it's very narrow difference between the two of them, and that's the main idea about this KIC. It is the last tournament of the year. It is the moment where everyone has been working so hard throughout the year in all the different competitions, and they get to the KIC just to prove what they have learned throughout these 12 months. So being able to get here, get into the top 8, it's already a very big task, a very, very big task. And the fact that one team Esports made it to today, to the top 8 in this competition, it's already a very big feast.
I think somehow like KIC is like the destination for all the teams, you know, participating in this tournament, because we have 4 amazing tournaments each day, and after spring season, after summer season from KPL, we have a Challenger Cup, and these will be counting at 3 stops, right? 3 stations for all of the players. You have time to practice more. You have time. Maybe the whole roster is going to be different. You need the first half of the year trying to figure out what you can do best with the current teammates you got, and you can see that gradually there's no change in the roster in the starting up list, and because like it's approaching to the destiny, it's definitely like for the teams right now competing in KIC, they are already so determined, so done with the 5 members. It's going to be the final answer.
This is just going to be the top of the top. This is just the end of the road. It is going to be just my best against your best, and let's see who's going to have had a better year and better experiences.
Yeah, like somehow I think like KPL and Challenger Cup is like a filter. You know, a lot of things have been filtered away, so that the essence is here. They're using the best form, really something. Maybe almost everything that is needed to take Jiezai away, to take Psyche, Zai with you, and Lucky away all the time.
In these 4 games, there was always the same pattern, just to don't allow Jiezai to take a strong pick. And then in this last one, he gets the Slims pick, but then it was unable just to really capitalize out of just getting such a strong hero. It was a very difficult day for Jiezai. It was Jinan RW, the ones that created a formula just to poison Jiezai's game style.
Look at the damage out here. The most. Zixuan, Mulan. Just imagine how early this game ends. Before Thierry actually got the items on board, that will be the finish line.
It was all for Rogue Warriors. And as we were just saying, right, like it was very good for us to see that Mulan showdown today. Because tomorrow, when they're facing Chongqing Wolves, that might be an option out there as well. It might be an option just to get that Mulan pick in there, since they know that the top lane is going to be the spotlight of tomorrow's match.
Together expect what will be happening if Zixuan is there in the lane and going against Guiqi. I think Zixuan has been too excited, you know, laning with Xinghen at that one they have with Hero. Definitely some lessons must be learned here. So it's a one-way ticket. It's already in the lowest brackets, right? It's not like in the like first bracket, upper bracket, we have a second life. We can still make some experiments on what's good and what's bad, but you got your final chance. It's your very last hope. Who's gonna be the winner? Jinan RW or Chongqing Wolves? Both teams have the reasons, a lot of reasons to be the winner, to stay longer in this journey. RW as one of the biggest dark horse ever in 2023 KIC, and Chongqing Wolves definitely gonna be feeling really upset of losing in the only round 1 in the lower bracket. Come on, they are the champions always.
No. They a defeat tomorrow for Chongqing Wolves would be a very big impact into their whole composition.
Of course.
And I know that anything but the final of KIC 2023 for them is going to be counted as a defeat. It's going to be counted as a big loss.
Look at this, with no doubt. I see Zixuan one more time. We see Zixuan one more time with a double MVP for the Game 3 and Game 4. Amazing performances. He literally carries an entire team. Dealt the most damage. That one was Telltale. This one with Mulan. Amazing. Have a very high gold per minute, like 861.
Wow.
Crazy.
He got green light to do whatever he wanted during this whole game. It was a really nice showdown from him. He got to really stretch his fingers and start showing us the mechanics that he's got.
Definitely MVP. I think I strongly wanted to wish for the best for Zixuan, because I think this little boy, that he need something. He need encouragement. He needs some energies, given to Zixuan to perform really good in tomorrow.
Yes. After the defeat that they had I believe that he came in and his body language just showed us how damaged he was from that. The big impact, the negative impact that defeat had on him.
It's really vulnerable. I think he's a very sensitive young player, I think. Yeah, look at this. Nearly all the HP is gone. Wow. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Amazing performance by not only him, but the whole RW. This is going to be an amazing match, just waiting for what's going to happen tomorrow between them and Chongqing Wolves. Because if they can keep playing like this, tomorrow is going to be an amazing showdown.
And I believe we have the very last chance to say goodbye to the team, One Team Esports.
Right, thank you. Welcome to the interview session. Now we have Jinan from One Team. Please say hi to the fans.
Hello， 大家好，我是 One Team 的射手杰仔。
Right, so as we know, this is the first time you guys played in KIC and all the way till now. What is your overall feeling? 就是一路走来，在 KIC 的赛场上面，现在的一个感觉怎么样？
感觉还是比较好吧，在赛场上面。
Yeah, I feel actually pretty good, especially during the game. And the second question is that, like, till now, is there any team you like in KIC? 就是在 KIC 有哪一支队伍是你相对比较喜欢的呢？
重庆狼队和成都 AG 超晚会都比较喜欢吧。
有没有为什么？
就感觉他们挺猛的，挺厉害的。
So I would like to say I like Wolves and also AG because they actually play really well. And the last question is that just out of curiosity, which team do you think will have the champion in this year's KIC? 就是最后一个问题，哪一支队伍觉得可以拿到总冠军呢？
就 AG 或者狼队吧，我感觉的话。
Okay, still AG and Wolves. 那么最后其实还是非常希望祝你们一路可以在未来更好的提升自己，然后在下一届打得更好。All right, and this is the end of the interview, and all the best to One Team Esports.
Yeah, all the best as well from us. We've been talking about this so long. I think as a new teams joining the league in KIC, you're definitely gonna be feeling a little bit frustrated because you get into the league into the most fierce one. I mean, if you're in KPL with a lot of chaotic things being happening, I think maybe One Team Esports standing a chance to be the winner. But since we have been talking about the filtration rights,
yes, it would be a completely different story. I'm completely sure about that. I love the way how he seems to predict that Chongqing Wolves and AG are going to be having a last showdown in the final. He sees that that might be one of the options, which would have shown us so many different AG against Wolves matches in this whole KIC, no?
Yes. If you ask the audience to make prediction, you ask those casters ourselves to name the 2 possible games ever to fight in the finals again. I think 80% of the chances that we're going to be getting the same answers, right? AG and Wolves.
Yeah.
The full name of AG is Chengdu AG. So Chengdu actually is AG's hometown, and our grand finals will be held in Chengdu. This is another buff for AG.
That would be a gigantic buff because we know that Chengdu AG has such a big fan base, and taking the final to Chengdu, if they can make it there, that's going to make it a very big boost.
Of course, and we are ready for the interview with RW, and let's see who we got.
Right, so we have Xiaoying from RW with all of you, and please say hi to the fans.
Hello everyone, my name is Xiaoying. Good to see you.
Yep, good to see all the fans. Would like to ask the very first question, like how have you guys recovered from the last game? 就第一个问题就是从上一场比赛到现在，感觉恢复的怎么样？
上一场比赛就是比较可惜的输了嘛，然后这次回去的话就是好好研究了巅峰对决的阵容吧。
Well, unfortunately, we lost the last game. However, we actually did a lot of preparations for the future ultimate battle. 那第二个问题就是下一场比赛我们要打狼队，那具体有做一些怎么样的一个准备呢？
这个就不方便透露了，但是我们就非常有信心嘛。
Right, the second question is how have you prepared for the next match against Chongqing Wolf? And Xiaoying actually say, let's keep a secret and reveal the surprise later. And then the last question is, please, because for RW all the ways till now you have received a lot of fans online and offline. Is there anything you would like to say to the fans? 就是像 RW 下一路走过来，其实获得了非常多的粉丝，那有什么想跟粉丝们说一下的呢？
感谢粉丝们的一路以来的支持吧。然后这次我们会留在深圳远一点。
And we would like to say thank you very much for your support to RW, and hopefully we can stay in Shenzhen for a longer time for the games. 那这个就是今天我们的赛后采访了，非常感谢，也期待下一场比赛一切顺利。
好，谢谢。
And this is the end of the interview session. See you later.